All right. So the segment changes.
Yes.
Yep. Don't fuck it up.
Oh, God. I am actually a little nervous about it for some reason.
I got responsibility.
Oh, God.
Right, because we're acknowledging if you fuck that up, it actually kind of screws up the flow. So don't do that.
So don't do that. Okay. Groovy and quality. Groovy and quality.
Quality then groovy. What in the fuck?
Wait, what?
No!
Let's get quality.
Oh. This is why you don't do drugs, kids.
You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Cult of Campbell. I'm Ty.
I'm Eric.
I'm Ben.
I'm Michael.
And today we are looking at part of Cultober. We are taking a look at the final piece in the Evil Dead trilogy,
Ooh.
1993's Army of Darkness.
Dun, dun, dun.
Army of Darkness actually counted as a 1992 release because of the film festival.
Okay.
Oh, fuck those film festivals.
Aw.
October 9th,
right,
1992. But February 19th, 1993 is the United States official release.
Okay.
U.S. runtime of 81 minutes and international of 88 minutes.
They got more minutes.
Those bitches. Directed by Sam Raimi and written by Sam Raimi and Ivan Raimi. Is it Raimi or Raimi?
Raimi.
Raimi.
What?
Is it what or what?
Raimi or Rami?
Okay, because I'm pretty sure the first time you said that.
Is it Raimi or Raimi?
Is it Raimi or
I was
Raimi?
like,
Actually, it's Raimi and Raimi.
We'll go back to the tape. No, Michael said it differently.
well, either way, my brain just had a stroke there for a second. Holy crap.
Produced by Robert Tappert, starring...
Rip Tappert. Rob
Tappert.
Rip Tappert.
It's Robert.
Yeah, Rip is what we know him as.
We know him as Rip. Rob, otherwise known as Rip.
Yeah, Rob Rip
Did he
Tappert.
die?
I think he just turned some letters upside down and changed a couple of them.
Make it sound spooky.
He got really creative.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rip Tappert, starring Bruce Campbell and Embeth Davids. Davids?
David's.
Regardless. Budget, $11 million.
Wow.
Where do you think most of that budget went?
The
That-
fucking stop motion.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't think the tank car he made didn't
I,
account for some of that?
I actually bet the Army of the Dead was probably
It probably was.
more expensive than
Yeah,
that.
there's
Yeah,
probably
they
a
probably
lot
just,
going into it.
they probably put a shell over a golf cart and then put a couple of whirly bits on it.
Right.
Now, Tyler, you're probably looking, so you're out. So what do you guys think the box office was on this $11 million budget?
Box office.
I'm gonna say they spent 11 million.
Yeah.
Let's go 16 million.
Okay. Good guess.
Good. I'll go a little higher. I'll say 20 mil.
21.5.
Ooh, good for them.
Seriously.
So
Man,
we'll
that's some
say
hard
it
work
was
paying
a
off.
success.
Yeah,
would say.
I would call that a success. Certainly.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine their cost for advertisement and stuff was that high. I mean, usually it's what? It's the budget plus that, right?
Or like half the budget. Something. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think the
Usually.
modern formula is to spend the same budget.
Yeah.
I think it's the same budget for production as it is for your advertisement.
Yeah. Usually I don't make it that far when I'm
Which
making
is
movies.
Well, I mean, spending
I'm
that
not
much, that formula is absolutely ridiculous because you're relying on that movie to do double what it costs to make,
Right.
which is stupid. But so I imagine
I mean, movies don't usually lose money when they're even if the box office, it's like they'll just continue. That's just a movie they have
they'll
now.
keep
They can do
cranking
whatever
out.
they want with
Right.
it. They'll always
they'll
make a
sell
profit
it to
eventually.
TV and syndicate it and stuff. Yeah.
Tagline's always interesting to me. The tagline for this film is how can you destroy an army that's already dead
Ooh.
in an age of darkness at a time of evil? That's his tagline.
that's a long tagline.
The other
That's a
tagline
good
is what is it? There's different tagline they use on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they kind of, as marketing changes, they give you
yeah.
different
Out of time,
taglines.
out of luck.
It's something like that, like out of time, out of luck, out of gas, something like that.
Oh yeah, he would run out.
Oh
of
wait,
gas
it's
stuff.
Oh, there's like 8 different taglines.
trapped in time, surrounded by evil, low on gas.
Yeah. Then he's a 20th century guy trapped in the Middle Ages.
That sounds like a very 90s
Yeah.
title.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was
That's like the beginning of like a trailer, like he's a 20th century guy
Ooh, I like this
trapped in medieval times.
I like this one. Foretold by a mystical book, forewarned by a wise man, fulfilled by a wise guy.
Ooh.
That's
That's
a
a decent
90s.
one.
That's
That's
a
a pretty
90s.
pretty
stuff.
good one.
You know, the original title was Medieval Dead.
Oh,
That which
I wish that would have been.
So much sense.
I still
Why
think
not?
that should have been it.
Right. It's perfect.
It was too perfect.
1 man, 1 million dead. The odds are just not about even. The odds are just about even. One man,
enough.
1 million dead. Jesus.
Yep.
They move, they breathe, they suck.
Okay.
That one's terrible.
That's low effort.
Sound the trumpets, raise the drawbridge, and drop the Oldsmobile.
Oh no.
Where are these from?
These had to be
These
overseas.
are just 8 taglines the film had through.
I bet.
Wow.
I bet these were the foreign taglines.
Yeah,
on
they
the
had to
posters
have
and
been.
stuff.
Oh yeah. Just give us one more.
They're very hit or miss.
It's an age of darkness at a time of evil when the world needed a hero. What it got was him.
I like
Ooh.
that one.
That was a
not
good
bad.
one. That was a good one. That's
Is that
pretty
all
good.
of them?
Yeah, there was like 8 of them. I think we covered them all.
Nice.
I don't see any that we met you because you said the trapped in time.
Yeah.
Well, there we
That's
go.
pretty much it. Sounds like a good time for something, Eric.
It
Oh, yeah.
does. It sounds like it might be time to.
What do we do in this show?
What do we do? We
Yeah, what do we
fucking get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my
All right, so we just got done watching 1993/1992, whichever one.
93.
Army of Darkness. I keep on calling Army of Dead 'cause that Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Oof,
But
ouch. Ugh.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness.
This was certainly not my first time watching. I've seen this movie many a times. Just one of my favorites. Just all around one of my favorite films.
Do you remember the first time you saw it?
I'm trying to think of the first time. It had to have been when I had to be really young when I saw it. Because I saw the Evil Dead movies when I was way younger than I should have been. Like elementary school, 6, 7.
This sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I would say I was very young when I watched Army of Darkness. I probably don't remember the first time. But I remember loving it because it was like an action movie. It was an action adventure movie. Whereas Evil Dead, is like a straight horror film. Evil Dead 2 is this like descent into madness, and then Army of Darkness is like this like swashbuckling, Indiana Jones
Yeah.
type adventure flick.
Of the three, this would definitely appeal to the younger audience much more than the other two.
Yeah, I feel like
for
this has a
sure.
wider wider appeal to it. Army
It
of
definitely
Darkness.
does.
And it's so weird, like the title too, because like if you didn't, it doesn't tie itself into the trilogy with the title, and it's just weird to have it named something entirely different. It's not even like Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. It's just Army of Darkness.
Well, that's why they did that whole recap at the beginning.
Right,
Right.
right.
And I look
Bridge
at
of
it. That wasn't
Fonda?
even the original title because Medieval Times. Because you mentioned
Medieval
the-
Dead. Yeah.
Medieval Dead. That was only the second. That
Really?
was the second choice. The
Well,
first,
Really?
yeah, the first choice was Raimi wanted to kind of do an homage back to the day where they'd put the stars' names in the titles.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Oh.
gonna be Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness.
Oh,
That's what he was originally going
man,
to
I
call it. I
love
was just
that.
looking at that now
I
Huh.
love that.
because he wanted to go back to the time like where it was Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein type of titles.
I see. Man,
Yeah, the
he is
studio
really
the studio
heavily
probably shot that
influenced by
down.
that.
It's like
They did. It's like
Yeah.
too long of a title. I feel to confuse moviegoers.
and plus
Yeah.
Bruce didn't really have like that much name value this time. He wasn't like
No.
he didn't reach cult status. Like he was still doing like Maniac Cop 2s and shit.
But he
Oh,
was.
I thought you said that was an amazing movie.
It was, but I mean, it wasn't like it was a straight to video movie. I mean, he was still like wasn't capitalizing on his like major appeal.
I think this brings your previous reviews into question.
Listen, Tyler's suggestions are always in question. Whatever it is.
I question myself for joining this endeavor with Tyler.
Oh no, I didn't think about this.
Wait, yeah, if
Who's
he's
more?
if
Who's
he's
more foolish, the fool or the fool? The follower?
exactly, yeah, we're dancing along to his
I'm
his
just-
little game of like.
I'm just trying to get you guys some culture.
Oh,
you
there it
use that
is.
fucking
Yep.
word with
Yep.
me.
Yep.
So what about you, Eric? I have a feeling this is your first time.
So this was my first time watching it all the way through, but
I
I
was
think
very excited.
I have. So this is interesting. I believe I saw a snippet of it when I was very, very young. But the thing is the memory I have of the scene is from the castle fight with all the skeletons. I remember all the skeletons and a stairway, but my memory was like of it being broad daylight, and it's just this super wide shot that just doesn't actually exist in the movie. Like my memory of it was it was so long ago, I don't have a
So
a
I
real
wonder
memory.
if your brain's mixing that with Jason and the Argonauts.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, it was this old claim. At least it might have been Clash of the Titans, but there was a series of like the old Greek adventure films that came out that were stop motion that had like skeletons.
Oh, so that's a very strong possibility.
That gosh, talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna dig.
Okay.
So what about you, Mike?
My first, I definitely watched this at a young age. I think I watched this before I watched any of the other Evil Deads.
Is that right?
Yeah,
This
I think
was the
I
first
think
one
the
you watched?
first one I watched, I didn't know it linked back to something, more so.
Yep, that looks like it.
So yeah,
That
is
looks
that
like
what you're
it.
seeing?
It might have been a scene from Jason and the Argonauts, and I was just like dead
Oh,
skeleton
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yep,
I remember
bright
watching that too.
that tan color to the stone. Yeah,
Right.
I remember that.
But yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
I watched this, probably when it came out again. 90. I probably watched
93.
it. I probably watched it when I was around like 6 years old or something. Actually,
Wow.
I was pretty young watching it, but I didn't know it was part of like a greater scheme of the
Right.
universe and everything. I definitely enjoyed it. I watched it all the time. Like,
Oh,
it was-
yeah.
I think we had it on VHS and I watched it all the time.
Yeah, see, it's weird. I don't think I ever actually owned it till like much later. Like, I don't think I ever owned it on VHS.
All my family was hoarders. We hoard all kinds of tapes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure I didn't own this until like I got Blu-ray or probably Blu-ray. I think so. First time I owned it because I remember renting it a lot. Like, around Halloween, I'd always rent it.
Yeah, we probably had it on a beta tape too. Honestly,
Jesus.
we had a few movies that were on beta
Ooh.
and VHS because we had both players.
What, a beta tape?
Yeah. You don't know betas?
What?
The betas before VHS.
They were with VHS. I think it was like they.
There was
What,
competing.
wasn't it like a competition
Really?
like Blu-ray?
The betas
and
were like a
HD, DVD?
smaller, like
Little-
VHS, really.
Like, no. I don't-
Yeah, there's
I
a big struggle in VHS one because of porn.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, yeah, porn won
Yeah,
that.
VHS
Yeah.
was same with Blu-ray.
Yeah,
When Blu-ray and HD DVD were coming out, porn back Bluray
and HD
Blu-ray.
HD DVD is like a better quality actually,
Right.
but
Yeah.
But
Blu-ray's the one.
they were cheaper to manufacture,
Yeah.
so that's what porn backed, and that's what won.
Interesting.
yeah, porn runs our industry.
Porn has shaped the way that a lot of things is done in the
You
internet-
you
in
online buy
industry.
because
Yeah.
of porn.
Online buy,
Man,
the
can
way
you
that we
imagine
do
if-
advertisements. is
Okay,
the same.
we need porn to get into the video game industry. Let's move. Let's really.
There was
move.
a Playboy game once.
No,
There was a Playboy
no.
game. Yeah, these were all terrible.
But you're
There
right;
was
they
a
could
Playboy
fix the
game.
industry right quick.
There was like the
Yeah.
guy. I remember the guy game. I remember my cousin having the guy game. It was like a stupid ass like cheap game where it was like all mini games like darts and shit like that. But you'd win like points, and then like you would take those points, you'd spend them on like some girl who would like you'd reveal a picture of her like with her tits out, but she's covering her nipples and shit. It
That
was
is
a stupid.
not-
It was,
that
this
is
was
not
PlayStation
healthy.
2. This was
That is
PlayStation
not-
2. It was the stupidest fucking game.
Yeah, but can you imagine if like Grand Theft Auto was partnered with Hustler? Like, yes, please. Let's. That would remove like all the stuff.
Remember they had like that hot coffee controversy. Remember San Andreas, where there was like a mini game you could unlock. where
Yeah,
you'd like fuck the girl. Yeah,
yeah, but they removed that from the game, and it had to be like
yeah. People like they like got leaked.
I just
It's amazing how none of this has to do with Army of Darkness.
Right. Yeah, we did go on a bit of a tangent. So what about you, Ben?
I honestly I couldn't tell you when the first time I watched this was. This is definitely my favorite of the three. I remember liking like how I pointed out the Jason and the Argonauts. I like that kind of adventure films, and I like that trend still continues today. We've had several good adventure films come out here recently, but so I really while I like Evil Dead and I like Evil Dead 2 more than the first one. I think Army of Darkness is really the one that I like just because it's still has that absurdist horror humor to it, but
Right.
it's much
Right.
more of an adventure film. So this is one of the ones I couldn't tell you when the first time I saw it, but I instantly liked it. And I honestly think I might have seen this first. Most likely. I think I'm pretty sure I saw this was the first one that I saw, which you absolutely, in my opinion, you can do.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
the way they recap at the beginning, you can go in this cold turkey and still like it.
I feel like any one of these three movies you could probably do that with because they do each one kind of retcons a little bit of the last one anyway.
Yeah.
Like this one kind of began differently than 2 ended,
Right.
Like they were, so they already kind of changed the scene up
Well,
let's
talk about that a little more. So like we of course open up with the classic Evil Dead recap. It's this the second time they've given us one after Evil Dead 2. They recap the previous film or films, however you want to look at it.
Right, with a slight retelling.
Slight retelling.
Because
slight
Ash is actually
recast.
apparently an insane person trapped in his own delusions.
Yes. That's my theory. Now, I got 2 good theories out of watching this movie. I understand on a film level and on a meta level.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Guys, when you hear this thud, that's me throwing my microphone at him.
Yeah.
Hitting him in the head with it. Here we go.
Yeah, because we will be lost within the deeper meanings of the undertones and the layers of this,
right.
of this film if we let Eric go too long.
The psychology of
Yeah,
Campbell and
psychology.
Raimi.
So we get the little recap, and then, like you said, at the end of Evil Dead 2, he lands, he shoots a winged monster out of the sky. Everyone starts cheering him.
It's much more
And
of a
he's a
heroic
hero.
entrance.
Right. And then
Yeah.
this one, he falls out of the sky and he gets put in shackles. He's a slave now.
Yeah.
They think he is part of this rival kingdom.
The Red.
Yep,
The
the
Reds.
red. Yep,
They
the
they
Reds.
take him to we get our first look at the castle. I forget what the castle is called, but
Were they really called the Reds?
Yeah.
there was Eric
man.
the Red.
George
yeah.
George the Red.
lazy.
Yeah, and they just called them.
Just a bunch of redheads wearing red
Yep.
stuff.
Well,
Yep.
listen.
Yep.
So this movie was definitely slightly racist against Irish people, I must say.
A little bit.
It was.
Yeah.
Although they came in.
I don't know that I particularly appreciate
Were
that
they,
type
were they
of
Irish
feeling.
or Scottish?
Uh-oh.
Were they Scottish or Irish?
Oh, maybe. No.
Question mark.
They might have been Scottish.
I think they were Scottish.
I think it was-
But the red
The
hair,
Reds.
but back in the 90s, if you put them in red hair, I feel like you're trying to make them Irish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hard to say. Continue.
So they
Sorry.
get the kingdom, and what they just toss. They're getting them all. They're going to throw them in this pit. They have this
Yep.
pit. They're accusing them of like bringing evil to the land.
Right.
And you have this woman who's kind of hanging out in the background who's bound and determined that she wants
Oh yeah,
she wants Ash to pay for
Right.
this shit.
Right, right. I
She's
like it.
convinced.
What does he say when he's like Eric the Red or George the Red says something, and he's like you only got 2 things. Jack.
Oh,
and
he
shit.
says like I'm a king, like I rule my people or something
Yeah.
like that. He's like, right now you're only ruling 2 things, Jack and shit, and Jack just left town.
Yeah.
There it was.
Yeah, like this is like such good Bruce. Bruce is like fucking on it. in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
This is like almost in my opinion. Like I don't want to ruin the last segment. This is like premium Bruce.
I guess so without it being spoilers, because come on guys, like if you haven't seen this yet, like where are you? But every quote that like comes up about Ash is usually from this movie.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I talked about when me and Mike were putting together the bumpers and the intro segment and everything for Call to Campbell. We were trying not to lean so heavily on the Evil Dead stuff because we wanted to diversify and cover more of the whole Bruce filmography.
Right.
But every time you look up quotes and quotable lines and anything from Bruce, it's bound to be Evil Dead 2 or Army
Right.
of Darkness.
Yeah, we're kind of running into a similar issue with just a portion of our audience. We have a bunch of Evil Dead fans and not Bruce Campbell fans.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like it's one of those things with proxy that,
Yeah, you can't
But-
help it.
yeah, it's
Yeah, but hopefully what this will do will encourage people that are Evil Dead fans but not Bruce Campbell fans to look at some of
Explore
his other
the-
stuff.
yeah, more of his
Especially
work.
Bubba Hotep. Guys, listen, if you're a fan of
Oh.
Evil Dead and Army of Darkness
Yeah.
and all that and you haven't seen Bubba Hotep, go watch it.
Go
Just watch
that.
it.
It's so
yeah. You
good.
sit down, you watch your Evil Deads, your Army of Darknesses, then you follow with Bubba Hotep, Maniac
And
Cop
then-
2.
Maniac Cop 2 and then Tornado. And
Oh,
then-
for some reason, Tornado is super popular. I don't know why. Like the posts in that episode performed way better than it should have.
Because
I have no
what's
idea.
happening is what happened back then when it was released. It got mixed up with Twister.
Right, yeah.
I did promote it pretty heavily alongside Twister. I used a lot of like Twister.
Oh, you dirty
bastard!
bastard.
You pulled the same
Yeah.
trick they did.
If
Oh
Hallmark
my
get away with it, I
God.
get away with it.
Oh my god.
Tyler's gonna be the new Hallmark.
I
someday.
disavow. I disavow.
He's-
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Oh,
it's like, I
rise
don't
up.
approve.
I did not sign off on this campaign.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a Cult of Hallmark here soon.
Cult of Hallmark.
Right.
Oh my God, that
Oof.
sounds like
Start checking the obituaries for Chillicothe.
Oh my
Ohio.
God, there's our Christmas event for next year.
no.
Look,
13
Too
days of
good.
Hallmark.
13 days of Hallmark. And we could do the font like it's a horror, like it's dripping, but all Christmas colors and happy people. Fuck.
Loki, I just heard this podcast the other day. I wish I could remember the name of it. But these guys, every year, they watch a Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 every year, and they do a review of it every year.
Every year?
Wow.
Imagine if we did something similar. Just once a month, you just watch one terrible film and have
So,
to review it
imagine-
over and over.
Over
again.
and over? That sounds like hell.
So imagine if you were like filming like a birthday party, right? And all of a sudden your house caught on fire and you got that on film and you're like, hey, this was my daughter's birthday party. Let's rewatch this video of the house fire. Like, why?
You mean you wouldn't want to watch power.com every year and
Oh,
review
God.
it?
I'd have to watch it the first time.
The first
Ben was spared that.
Spared my ass. I took my life back.
I reclaim this.
Yeah, I wasn't spared shit. I decided I had enough.
that was a rough one.
Would you
Jesus
rather
Christ.
Minnows mine then instead of power.com?
Yeah.
Do not try your mind tricks with me, young Moses. I am Pharaoh.
So Jack left town.
Jack left town.
Jack left
we
town.
we get we have this big pit, this big open like trapdoor pit in the middle of the kingdom, and they're lining up all the reds. They're going to throw them in there. Everyone's like, "What the?" They're all like scared, and they take just a random red shirt, as you do,
Yeah.
and they drop him in the pit. This is how we're going to establish.
Hey, Star
they
Trek
all
got
fucked
that
up with
right,
this.
damn it.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
They drop him right in the pit, and then there's this long pause. Everything goes quiet.
It's really long.
It is. They build the tension. They build the
bit.
tension.
It's
They're
like,
showing
oh,
everybody. Everyone's dead
it's just-
silent.
Like I love the wides where like all of the people's heads just kind of lean in, like
right,
they're,
like
you
they're
know,
30
in
miles away
unison.
from that hole, and they're
Yeah.
like, if I just go a little bit further, I can see. Like, no, you can't. You're on the other side of the
Things like
castle
30
wall.
feet deep. You're not seeing anything.
And
I
then a
promise.
fucking geyser of blood
It's
erupts.
just
Right, like you get like one little
Shoots
scream,
out.
and all of a sudden it's fucking Kill Bill in here. It's
Yep.
just
Yeah.
shooting through the.
Which is just eventually leaves the question what happens next, but go on.
Then they push Bruce toward the edge, and he starts pleading. He's like, wait a second,
I
second.
don't even
don't
know
know
this
these
ass.
It's like,
people.
I've never seen these bastards before in my life.
and he's like, tell him, I don't know you. And the guy's like, they won't listen.
Yeah, he's
anyway.
like, I don't
George,
think they're gonna listen.
and to his credit, George like looks up and studies the guy for a minute. He's like, I don't think he's interested in listening.
Yeah, he doesn't care what I have to say.
And Bruce, I like that Bruce didn't like start yelling at George about it. He's like, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
And he starts, he's pleading. And then that random woman,
Yeah, it just comes up and just,
who we find out Sheila's her name.
yeah.
Later.
Is she the one, though? There were several times when they were bringing him in that somebody said, you're going to pay for my brother's death.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder if
It
that
must
was,
have been her.
I wonder if
Maybe.
that was her.
Maybe we just didn't catch it.
Maybe.
So that might have been
There's a
before
lot-
we
there's a lot that
turned the
goes on,
captions
so-
on so we could see it.
Right. So
So-
she throws a rock, beams Bruce in the head.
Right in the back of the head.
He,
Like,
like,
that is the
stumbles-
worst spot to hit somebody.
Right. He stumbles and falls right into the pit.
Yep.
Into the big
Well, they gave him a shot.
slash
They
wall.
pushed it.
They did.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
actually
cut to
looked
that.
like he was going to start falling backwards, and they were like, nah.
Yeah, Raimi was
In you
taking
go.
good time. Like, let's watch this stumbling Bruce.
Oh,
yeah.
And then we get a kung fu deadite.
Death pit
Oh,
match.
yep.
Yeah, she like comes out just like she punched him in the face. She's
So,
doing
and then
flips.
that's what I'm wondering. Like, how was the last guy splatter blood, and now she just coming out punching Bruce?
Because he's the
Right.
chosen one.
Because
Oh, okay.
because
Duh.
the Evil Dead is Sam Raimi, and it's just the manifestation of him to torture Bruce. That's all they exist to do is to torture Bruce.
So I support some of this. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the ways that Sam Raimi writes like the camera stuff and the way things happen is he's like, I am
Yep.
that. What would I like to do to him?
Yep. He took the essence of the Three Stooges and he throws it right in Bruce's face anytime he can.
Because there's another director that like that. Tim Burton likes to do that with Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah.
He goes out of his way to write scenes to fuck with Johnny when they're in films together.
See,
I believe
yeah.
that.
Johnny hates being
Yep.
shot in the face with liquids. So if you watch like
So he just keeps doing
Sleepy
that to him.
Hollow and stuff, yeah, he just catches like buckets of shit to the face.
So there you go. That's my meta theory. Sam Raimi is the Evil Dead. Bruce
I'm
is Ash.
just curious how she splattered the last guy. Then, like, what
I
was
have
her
no
ability
idea.
to do that?
So there was also there was
Oh,
two
yeah.
down there, and we
Oh,
didn't get to
yeah.
see the other one, which was much more monstrous.
Potentially 3.
Potentially
Potentially three.
We he fights off this little like starter deadite, and then
Strange
sorcerer dude, I don't know his name. He comes up, he's like
Strange one.
Strange one.
And he pulls out of the bag the chainsaw, throws it down. We get this awesome sequence where Bruce like leaps in the air, throws his arm up, and the chainsaw and him just meet.
They
Just
merge.
clicks right into
connect.
place.
He comes down and just instantly beheads the chick,
The starter deadite.
Yeah, starter deadite.
Started a Deadite.
And then while this is going on, they're starting to like crank the spikes.
Spikes!
There's these like wall
Oh yeah,
spikes
because
that's,
they
like,
did
floating.
have a bit of a fight while they were reeling in the spikes.
reeling the spikes, and then out of nowhere, this like really fucking bloated
That was
Deadite.
cool.
The
Yeah,
one comes
pops
out of the wall.
mud.
He just pops right out of the wall. That was a really cool
Fun
shot. 'cause you
fact
didn't see
about
him
this
coming at all.
Deadite: his
Ooh.
name is Billy Bryan, and
Okay.
he portrayed the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Ah,
nice.
cool.
There we go. A little
That's
Cultober
awesome.
fact.
A little Cultober fact for you guys. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here reading it off the internet. You could Google it, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can, but they don't. So we do.
Oh,
So there
yeah.
you go.
You're welcome then.
We
So-
don't tell them anything that they couldn't do if they weren't lazy.
Oh, I'm lazy.
Yeah, Michael's lazy, but he does this for you, listeners.
Yes.
Right.
Just remember
So
that.
But Stay Puft Marshmallow Man attacks Bruce.
Yep.
so we get this fight
Sell
between
wall.
him and the wall Deadite,
The wall deadite.
who has like put up a much more of a fight. She's obviously a little more OP than the other one.
Yep.
And instead of like killing her, he like just is trying to escape. This point.
Yeah. He
So
like
The walls are closing.
the walls are
in.
closing,
Yeah.
getting too close. So he jumps onto a chain, Indiana Jones style, with his belt. He uses it as like a yeah.
wraps around the chain. So that he can just, like just grab the chain.
right.
I don't know.
Because
Yeah,
it,
you've got. Yeah.
it pulls him up, and he's like starts slipping. She's grabbing onto his leg.
Yep. He's
But
trying
he
to kick her
escapes
out.
just the nick of time where she gets closed up into that
The wall of
spike
spike
wall.
walls. Yep.
And this is where we get like this is where Bruce just has it.
Yeah, I would love so. And granted, we are just getting ready. We're going to start season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, so I've only seen season 1. But I want this Ash to show up, like the indignant, angry, like just
Yes.
like ready to kick everybody's ass who stands before him. Like, where is he at?
Because he just crawls up out of this pit.
Mad
all
at-
dingy and dirty.
Mad as fuck.
Pissed as hell. And he's looking around like, nobody's gonna fucking touch me.
Yeah, and he's like, who wants some?
Yep.
Who's next?
He just calls one poor man out.
And he's like, what about you? It's the guy with the whip that was whipping him on the way to the
Yeah.
Ash. He's like, what about you, asshat? You want some?
Yep.
No,
You
no.
want a piece? Yeah, he just kind of, I loved that little stare down too, because the guy was like trying to be defiant, but he was like jumping, you know, as he, and then, what's his face? It's like, sword boy! Calls for sword boy, and
What's it? Just fucking kicks him over as he's withdrawing his
I
sword.
know, pulls
Like-
pulls the sword out of the sheath and kicks him.
Like, if I were that sword boy, which is a terrible name, by the way, I'd at least insist on a professional title. I'd have taken that sheath and smacked him in the face with it, you dick.
So he
Right.
draws his sword, and we get. It seems like we're about to have our first a bit of sword play in the film,
Yep.
and then the blade of his sword just explodes.
Yep.
Right.
Shot in half.
Shot in half. We have the echo comes around.
Yep.
Bruce has the double barrel shotgun
That he has pulled out of absolute nowhere.
I have no
Yep.
idea where it came from.
Where did
We've
it come
established it's not in his holster.
Right. Because it
Um,
wasn't down in the pit.
it was
That's
not down in the
thing.
pit with
They-
him.
The only
Yeah.
thing I can think of is that while that dude's like doing his whole sword schlock, Ash is not paying one bit of attention to him, and he's like, "Who's got my fucking shotgun?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's the, yeah, who's got it? I know one of you had, give me that.
Yeah, that's the best thing that I can figure out is going
Yep.
on.
So he pulls out the shotgun. He's got it. He like gives us all the stats of the shotgun. What is that?
my
Remington.
gosh.
Remington double barrel retails for $109.99.
Yeah, you can find it in the house in the sporting goods section. S-Mart.
Walnut stock, blue steeled.
Shop smart.
Shop S-Smart.
You got that?
Yeah, it is, because it is like,
He's making it
understand?
And you know what? I actually think this might be kind of brilliant. This might be a secret, like Bruce's or Ash is smarter than he looks, because I think he knows damn good and well that those people have no idea what he's talking about. But he's like, if
Right.
I say this with such like conviction and anger,
Right.
they'll just consider it a threat.
It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, from the Lord of the Rings, the reforged sword. It's like, you know, forged in the fires of blah, 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 and da, 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 da. You know, it's his version of that. He bought it at S-Mart. He went through the sliding doors and slapped money on the counter. Anyway.
Right, but he knows damn good and well they
What's
don't
money?
understand any of this.
What's money?
They had money back then.
Yeah, they had silver bits.
So he gets he pretty much proves himself as the chosen one. He's the
Yep.
one that they doesn't want to mention like He's the one from the Necronomicon or something.
Well, we haven't gotten to that point yet because the next thing we see is him sitting on a throne eating grapes. And
Right, yeah, he's getting the full-on king treatment. He's
Yep.
getting he's laid back. He's getting fed grapes and a big ass turkey leg,
and that's when the Whisker Wizard comes up.
And Eric mentioned that was good compromise on his part.
It was.
I won't kill you.
That is not a goddamn compromise.
It is. They didn't die, and he gets grapes.
That is not a compromise because
he gets grapes.
That's like if I put a gun to your head and I'm like, okay, I could kill you or give me grapes, and you're like, well, I'll give you grapes. I'm like, good, that's a compromise. That's not a compromise.
That's
You have a choice.
Okay, no, hold on. That's like you putting a gun to my head saying, give me grapes after I've thrown you into a pit full of some horrific thing. You're deciding not to take revenge on me
You're
at that
confusing justification with compromise. He's justified in doing what he's doing, but make no mistake, that is not a compromise.
I think he'd be justified to blast his way out of there after what he just went through.
I agree, but that's still not a compromise. He's deciding to make this option. They aren't compromising shit. They are totally at his mercy.
So after this compromise, Tyler, what happens next?
God damn you, Michael.
So it's not too long after this. Like we set the scene where he's getting like pampered. Isn't he asking like, how do I get back? Or I'm not from here. I need to get
demanding.
Well, I don't even know if he's asking how to get back. I think eventually the wise man comes to him and says, we can get you back.
Yeah, he's like, we need this. We need this book. And not only can it solve our problem, but it solves your problem.
Yeah.
And it's at that point that we
because actually he was just kind of big chill. I don't think he's really worrying about it.
No.
Like at the moment.
I wouldn't.
Then
yeah.
Then we like hear like a splat, like a clatter. He looks down. There's like porridge at his feet. They look up and we see at the woman that was making the stew.
Yep.
She turns around. She's a deadite. So we see at the evil is kind of infecting the whole kingdom.
Yeah, it's creeping in slowly.
And she just commences whooping everybody's asses. Like she beats the shit out of all the guards, the blacksmith, and then Bruce finally gets his shotgun and puts one in her.
His
starts doing his
stick.
Yep.
And she lays there.
Gun fu.
Like she drops, she lays there, and then what is the guy's name?
Sword Boys.
What is
his name's Caterpillar from here on out.
Caterpillar. Oh, the fucking eyebrows.
Yeah, Caterpillar reaches it. Like
he's like coming in to check on her, and Ash is like, don't do that.
Yeah, he like, comes right before his hand touches her. He's like, no,
that's a trap.
He tells her, give me an axe.
Get an axe.
Yeah, because we could see
and then
her
she
eye
pops
open.
up anyway.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it's because she's like, oh fuck.
Jigs up.
Yep. She was waiting on it to all play out. So she pops up, and then we have more of her kicking everybody's ass until I think he shoots her, right? Or does he behead her? How's he in this one?
What does happen? He was like shooting the hell out of her while he was like doing high
That's
kicks
right.
and
So
stuff
yeah,
like that.
because often we see him shoot 3 blasts out of that shotgun. And if you're not paying attention during this fight, it looks like he shoots 4, but he does this spin around reloady thing.
Yes. Yeah, where you hear the sound of him reloading. But
and then eventually he just blasts her to the point where she's dead.
Yeah, over the shoulder, right? He does. Like
That's right.
Yeah,
She was running at him, and
he does the over the shoulder.
Yeah,
Once again, where is this competent Ash at?
we get bits and bobs of him in Evil Dead,
right? But he's like pretty staunchly.
Okay, so probably what is happening? He probably did kill her and stuff, but he is retelling a story, so he might be embellishing.
He is. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Oh yeah, that is true. We do find out that he's actually Yeah,
it is.
So it might have been less graceful.
He's what's that called? An unreliable narrator.
Unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Which
so he probably did kill it.
I'm telling you, this whole thing
which
is
does
probably
make
just
sense for Ash. That is a very Ash thing to do. We've seen it in Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah,
where he does that,
and that would be why. Like it's kind of retconned at the beginning of each installation because this whole, he's just told this story like what happened on his weekend at the cabin. I'm telling you, this whole thing, he killed his friends at that cabin. That's what happened. I
think it just might be an embellished story. I think it all happened, just not as cool as he's saying.
I think that only applies to Army of Darkness because Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2
aren't framed that way.
Yeah, he would definitely come out looking better in those films if he was telling the story.
Yeah.
So
That's
true.
He's pretty
Army of Darkness does have room for some embellishment here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's an interesting.
Yeah, that's
so
a good
cool
thought.
guy doesn't look at explosion.
So then he tells him what he needs. He's going to build his hand, but what leads us to that point?
So he agrees to go get the Necronomicon. Shit's getting crazy. He goes. So they're like, this is going to be a dangerous journey. So he goes to the armory, and he goes that one, and somehow creates a Star Wars-esque mechanical hand.
Yeah, we get a kind of like a reshot sequence from Evil Dead 2 where he's building his hand, but now he's building
right.
Instead of a shotgun, he's building a prosthetic hand.
Yeah.
out of
A
armor, out of an armored gauntlet and chainmail.
And has hydraulics somehow.
Has hydraulics. Yeah, we even hear it like.
And like crushes a goblet. Yeah.
It's really just like
Yeah, but he does deliver that line the best. He holds up the gauntlet and goes, groovy.
it's really just like Raimi's just like, I want it to be
I'm
this.
pretty sure
and
that's-
that's all you have to accept it as.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure that's the groovy we use in the
That's the groovy that
in the
everybody
intro. I think
remembers.
that's when we
Because
use in
that's the
intro.
deep bravado groovy.
Yeah, I made it. Never mind. I ain't gonna get geeked out on you. Yes, that's the groovy we use.
So we have him with his new gauntlet. He's got his fancy new hand. So now he doesn't have to carry the chainsaw, which we don't see the chainsaw. The chainsaw kind of like leaves the movie at this
I think
point.
he traded in the chainsaw
For the gauntlet.
hand.
For
Yeah.
the
He didn't
gauntlet.
have gas. Was
Yeah.
He has hydraulics,
true.
not
This is a
gas.
finite resource.
Exactly.
Although I would have drained the car for that.
What?
Like,
Right.
He has hydraulic fluid, not gas in this world. Okay,
Shut up, Michael. Just shut. Stop it.
It makes sense if you think about
Just
it.
fucking not.
I dare you. I defy you to poke a hole in that.
I dare you to find a case of hydraulic
Where did he
fluid
get
in
his-
medieval.
But I guess admitted in the car, wouldn't it?
Yeah, in the trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's later. He has. The
yeah,
I
but you
just
can
thought of
assume that he uses them.
But we have while he's getting ready, before he goes off, we see Sheila. She
Oh, yeah.
comes to him and she's like telling him about how dangerous it is
And how she's sorry that
how
she
she's sorry.
beamed him in the head with a
yeah,
rock.
sorry she's been such a bitch, and gives him a shirt, and he's like, oh, good, I could use a horse cover or whatever. And kind of like dismiss him. She slaps him. Then he follows her up to the door, and we have this like shot where it's like one of those '90s romance novels,
Oh,
those
yeah.
steamy
Oh, yeah.
Fabio-esque romance novels.
His shirt is wide
His
open.
shirt's open,
bare-chested.
bare-chested. The wind's blowing in
Yep.
his
The
ear.
sun's right behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, blowing right in his hair.
Yep.
And he like grabs her, and he's like, "All right, come
Give me
baby.
some sugar.
Give me
baby.
some sugar, baby." And
Yeah.
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. They went from arguing to that. And I think this is a good point. Good time to just talk about like how fucking good he looks in this movie.
Oh my god,
Dear God.
premium Bruce in every
Yeah.
fucking aspect of this.
Yeah.
It was funny because if any of you listen to our weird shit episodes, Bailey she came walking in and she saw it. She goes, "Wow, look at Bruce. He's looking good."
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And he was. His
he's got-
hair
Hair's on point.
on point.
Just
Yep.
chiseled. He's fucking in shape.
Yep.
I mean, he's got just that fucking jaw just at max.
This is how you
prominence.
want to remember Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Am I
He's
in
in
a
the
room full of
prime.
guys with boners right now? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, don't act like you're not.
I
Don't act like you.
I
don't
refuse
have
to
one.
comment at the moment.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was just
Yeah.
seeing what kind of situation I'm in.
I'll
That's
just
all.
keep
Uh-huh.
I'll just keep this here on my lap.
Yeah.
I'm not a goddamn animal, so I can talk about somebody's attractiveness without popping a boner.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good for you. So after his hydraulic hand and talks to
Yeah, he
girl
talks to
and-
Sheila. Then we take him to the edge of the kingdom.
Yep, and they say that
Yeah,
down this
none
path,
of the horses will go past this. They tell him like, this is cursed land. Down this path, you'll come to a cemetery where you'll find the Necronomicon.
and
and
you
when
must say the words.
When you retrieve the book, you must say these three words: Klaatu, Veratu, Niktu.
Oh, you remembered them very well.
Yes.
See, we should have sent you to this.
Klaatu,
to this-
Veratu,
It's an
Niktu.
homage to
Wow.
something. Let me find it.
Is it
again.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something. It's
Oh,
a
cool.
quotable line from something.
Klaatu,
I've seen they used
The
to,
day the earth stood still. I know that.
yeah.
yes.
It's from-
Oh,
And-
shoot.
and-
I know this one.
And Klaatu, Veratu, Niktu has been used like since then. There was a movie I watched not too long ago. It was a horror
Huh.
movie, like a newer one, and that was like part of the thing. Like it was mentioned in it. It was
Yeah, and the day the earth stood still, it was Klaatu Barada Nick.
and that's what the
Nitko.
subtitles. The
Nikto.
subtitles said Klaatu, Barata, Niktu.
Interesting.
That's what the subtitle said, but it's Barata.
Right. So, yeah, and the phrase was, well, it must be said to stop the robot Gort from destroying Earth.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Oh, that's a cool reference. Holy crap.
Yeah, just subtle science fiction reference.
Yeah. Well, I think that's neat because I remember reading about that. Of course, I
Kind
can't.
of really grabbed out of his head, though, didn't he? I didn't remember
Yeah.
that.
No, I didn't. I'd be fucked.
You
in
might
that
be a fan
situation.
of this movie,
I
Tyler.
am.
Like you guys
I
have been
used to- I
saying
used
it
to
over
have
and
a-
over, and I still don't remember it.
I used to have a poster in my my office at the house.
Oh,
I used to have like a poster. It was just those the three words wrapped around.
Is that
chainsaw.
how the cult started? Did you just sit there chanting those words over and
Yes.
over again?
Yes.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
just in case you ever find yourself in the
Yep.
situation of trying to pick one of the three Necronomicon.
Yeah, I used to have
Yeah.
like I used to have a really cool like print of it. I bought it like a comic convention once.
Ooh.
It was a like original print that someone did. But yeah, like he said, he has to say that, and they tell him like the wizard's like, repeat it. And he's like, Klaatu brought to Nikto. I got it.
Say it again.
Yeah,
He's like,
I got your
I
damn
got it."
words. I got your damn words. I know your words. He's like,
Just you guys be ready when I get the fuck back here.
get me home. So
Uh-huh.
he rides off, and like almost like immediately he rides off. We get some shots of him riding around,
Right.
and then almost immediately we get that unseen
Oh yes,
POV
the camera chase.
evil
Sam
coming
Raimi
after him.
chasing Bruce. I mean, the evil chasing. Ash.
Right. It chases after him, and we get a horse chase until the horse just throws him right into like the deepest puddle of mud, which is like
Oh,
the same
yeah.
thing from Evil Dead 2. These
Oh,
like,
that's
these deep
right.
ass puddles of
Right.
mud.
It's probably the same fucking puddle.
It probably
Yeah,
is.
probably is.
So he gets tossed in that, and then we get a foot chase, and this thing's like round his ass. It's like splitting
Yeah,
trees.
it is.
He does a really good physical moment where he like falls down, rolls, and pops right back up.
Oh, yeah. When he was rolling down that hill and
Yep.
the POV was right behind him, and
Yep, and he pops right back up
just
and keeps on going.
Yeah, his physical acting is just fucking amazing, like
And-
it always is.
And this takes us right
Jesus.
into the windmill, and this is where
Yep.
things get fucking crazy. This is where things get back to Evil
Back-
Dead
gets
level.
very
Most-
cabiny.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Evil Dead 2-esque like lunacy.
Yeah,
So he gets in the cabin, and we see it's daytime when he gets in there. It comes nighttime. First we get like these really cool shots of he comes in, he slams the door behind him, he gets up against the door,
Yep.
and we get these really cool camera shots of just the camera coming in as the
Oh yeah,
door is being bludgeoned by that evil.
yeah. It's just
this
ramming the doors
great
over and
Sam
over.
Raimi camera work. Like watching these movies back in such close proximity. You know, it's only been like a month or two since we watched Evil Dead 2.
Right.
And watching these two back to back like this, you really appreciate the work that Sam Raimi does. Like,
Yeah.
he is a fucking master behind that camera. Like, I see
Yeah.
the appeal of Sam Raimi. Like he takes some fucking liberties with the camera.
Oh yeah, like their presence has he builds the presence of the Deadites in more than just like it's not just a mask and makeup or whatever.
Right.
It's literally in the way that he films things and the way the lights flicker and stuff, and just in the edits, it like there's speed ups and slow downs that are just really it just goes bonkers. Like
Right.
anytime they're around, it like affects the whole atmosphere of the scene.
And
It's
just to
crazy.
think, he almost didn't get this movie.
He almost didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His-
I know there was like some.
yeah, because he couldn't get a budget for it, and he made Darkman,
Mm-hmm.
the movie
Oh.
Darkman, and it was such
I
a
like
success.
didn't know he
Universal's
made
like, we'll
Darkman.
give you money for Army of Darkness now.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Darkman's a good
Okay.
Wasn't Bruce supposed to be?
Yeah, Bruce was supposed to be Darkman. Like that was originally.
Oh.
Man, so I like.
but the studio canceled. But there's some funny stuff. Like there's several lines in the movie when Liam Neeson is the main star of it.
Yeah.
He's under like mask most of the time.
Yeah.
And there's some scenes where they had like went back after they were done shooting, and there was lines missing. And apparently Bruce does a really good Liam Neeson impression. So
Oh my god.
actually, some of Liam Neeson's lines are Bruce Campbell
doing
doing
an
a Liam Neeson impression. Yeah.
So do you get to watch Darkman
And,
for Calder Campbell? then?
at the very end, the big twist of Darkman is that Liam Neeson was Bruce Campbell the whole time. That's the twist.
What?
At the, end of it. At the
What?
end- at the very end, you never seen Darkman?
He turns
I've never
around and
watched
it's
Darkman.
Bruce. I've
He
seen
turn-
the end
he
of
tur-
it.
He turns around, it's Bruce Campbell.
No, I've never watched Darkman.
Yeah, but it's also Darkman wears masks all the time. I think that's the twist of it.
Yeah. So I would have liked to.
Wait, he was Bruce the whole time?
I really like Liam Neeson's performance, but it would have been interesting to see what Bruce would have
oh,
done.
yeah.
would've, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in years. I have all three of the movies on DVDs. We have them available. To us
And what's
to watch
funny is the second one, they kind of pull an Evil Dead with Darkman. Like Darkman 2 is basically like a remake of the first
Yeah,
one.
when they recast him with the guy that plays the mummy, right? The guy eventually.
Yeah,
becomes the
yeah.
mummy.
Arnold Vosloo?
Yeah, he takes over as Darkman from 2 and 3.
Yeah, and so they basically retell.
But I'd like to go back and watch and see if we can find like where the
Bruce lines are.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. I like Darkman.
Where's my goddamn wife? Where's my wife? I want to hear those things. I don't know, but yeah. So
Where are we at?
it was like a
Where-
multi-picture deal with Universal, right? Like
So we're in.
he had the option to do Darkman, but he
The
leveraged it.
success of Darkman
Yeah.
they gave him.
Mhm.
He leveraged and
Yeah.
like I think like him and like Bruce, Sam, and Ivan. I think even had to pull like some of their own money like to throw into the
It
budget.
sounds like something they would do to make a movie
Yeah.
happen. Like these
Oh,
guys
of
really
course.
believe in these
Of
kind
course.
of So this is one of my favorite parts.
Right.
Oh,
this is where.
this is
So
we get some fucking lunacy.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Bruce is like bracing against the door, and the evil's ramming against it, and then it goes away.
Yes.
And he gets to spend a little bit of time in the cabin, and he sees something move in the corner,
Uh-huh.
and he charges at it, and bounces off of it and breaks it. It actually ends up being a mirror.
It was his own reflection in the mirror.
Although I think that's a perfectly reasonable reaction to have. Like you just see
Absolutely.
something moving in the corner, you're like, fuck it. Like
Yeah.
you're not even.
Yep.
So he shatters it and he turns away from it. And for some reason, all of the reflections
In
of
the
him
little
in
shards.
the little shards come to life.
Yep, they come to life. They're
They
little mini
crawl
Bruces.
out.
And they crawl out of the mirror.
Little mini ashes.
And they're bastards.
They are. They're little
Yes,
pricks.
they are. Oh
They're
my
not
God.
overtly evil.
No, they're just mischievous.
They're just little pricks.
Yeah,
they,
they-
stab him with a
Fairies or something
fork.
after
Yeah,
this.
they
They're like little. Yeah, they were very fairy-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing all sorts of
Yeah.
little fuckery things.
Impish.
They,
Yep.
they even
Yeah.
say like,
Yep.
come on, we're gonna scare the hell out of this guy. Like they say that kind of shit. And,
Yep.
What the first thing they do, they throw that fork at him, and then they get the shotgun. They shoot like right past his
Shoot
head.
at him.
Yep.
He
And
gets
as
a
things-
fork and throws it at one of the
Yep.
little
Yeah,
ones and
Yep.
impales
He
it.
impales it against a wall. As things escalate, he's just going crazy, stomping after one of them.
Bridge is
Yeah.
falling down.
And he, yes, singing that song. And the guy, little Bruce grabs a
Nail.
nail and holds it up, and he steps on it. He's just like, it's just like, oh my God.
falls
and-
backwards and smacks his head, right?
Yep.
Knocks
As
him
the,
unconscious.
as the other
I
little
like
ones
it.
finish the song.
Yeah, I like it. 'Cause they're like standing on top of each other's
Yeah.
shoulders, and like my fair lady.
Like it just goes fucking bonkers in
Yeah.
this scene, and then he wakes up tied
Gulliver
to the
travel.
ground.
Yeah, he gets
Yep.
a Gulliver travel.
Yeah, they strap.
move.
So he's tied up. Two of them like come out and hold his nose and force his mouth open.
Yep.
And then there's one that like swan dives
Right
off
into
the
his
table into his mouth.
I don't
Yeah.
care how gross it had been. I'd have been like, oh, it's crunching time.
Oh, for
Nom,
sure.
nom, nom, nom,
Yeah, oh
nom.
yeah,
For
start
sure.
chewing that
I would've,
motherfucker up.
yeah.
It made like a water splash
It did,
when he
yeah, it
landed in
did.
his mouth.
So he breaks free,
Yep.
gets up, like all the little.
They're like, oh
names,
no,
like,
run
my
away,
God,
never to
oh
be
my God.
seen
And they
again.
run off, and
They're,
yeah,
they're like
never
grunts
seen
from Halo.
again.
Run away!
Run away!
They just all take
Yes.
off.
They're never seen again. But he has that one in his stomach, and you kind of like see it starts like fucking with his stomach. So he goes over to this like boiling kettle.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah.
Which
Say like
speak-
some hot chocolate,
Which,
fucker.
speaking of the stove, when he's getting attacked by the little imps,
Oh,
that's one of my
yes.
favorite bits.
That
He
was a good
falls and
part.
his face gets stuck to the stove, and he has to grab the spatula
Yeah,
and pry his face
he's like
off.
prying his
again.
own face off of it. Yes,
But
that
he
was
grabs
funny.
this boiling kettle, and like you can see, it's just like it's hot to the touch. He
Yeah.
yeah,
runs
but he's
in.
got that insane look in his eye that he
yeah,
had.
that,
Yeah.
Evil Dead
Evil Dead
2,
2.
like those Evil Dead 2 eyes. And then he opens up and like swallows a
He's
big
just like-
gulp of this like steam. And you hear it
Yep.
like,
Yeah, he's
as
like,
it's
how do you
going
like
on.
some hot chocolate?
Yeah, and you
Yep.
hear it like scream.
Ah!
And he thinks he's he thinks he's killed it until you see like he like grabbing his
Oh.
shoulder. That's a creepy
That was a
effect.
cool,
He
yeah.
rips the shoulder off his
A
shirt.
giant eyeball on
There's
his
a
shoulder.
giant
Oh,
eyeball,
growing
and
out of
you
it.
hear it like muffled. It's like, get me out of here.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you
I
hear.
didn't
you hear, like,
notice
say
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he
Oh.
runs outside. You hear him. He's like masked by the moonlight. You hear him like it's growing. And then like that's really cool shot from it's straight out of Wolfman, like the original Wolfman.
Oh,
Where he's-
Yeah, he runs in front of the moon, and you see he has two heads. And he howls for some reason
Yeah,
at the moon.
that's what, because it was a Wolfman homage.
Yeah, it was a Wolfman
That's
homage.
cool.
Yeah, they're
Damn it.
definitely like this
I
whole
love Raimi.
that whole little sequence there in the windmill. I feel is kind of like an homage to those old like gothic horror films.
Yeah.
like, the old Universal goth, and this is a Universal film too. So they were
Oh, okay.
it's kind of
Yep,
like an
yep,
homage to those old
that's right,
Universal
isn't it?
monsters. So he
So-
runs off, and there's like some really cool shit with this. Like they do a really cool effect where it's such a simple effect too.
Yeah.
Where you have the screen, it's occupied by both Bruces,
Right.
and it's clearly just a
Yeah.
they
Just
filmed
a
two
side-by-side.
sequences, green screened it. But they're like poking each other's eyes and just being goofy and shit.
Tweaking each other's nose. Yeah.
And
stuff
then
like that.
and then
Just
eventually
whap,
they
whap.
rip apart. They just rip in half.
Just pop. Yep. Pop apart.
Yeah. Evil Ash has on clothes and Bruce has on clothes. There's no
Yeah.
tears in their
But
clothes.
Evil Ash has two normal hands.
Yes.
Oh,
he has
yeah.
two hands.
Yeah.
He has
Whereas
two hands.
regular
Which
Ash
doesn't
has
make a whole lot of sense, we'll say, because he got ripped off the right side,
Right. With the mechanical hand.
and that's where Bruce
Yeah.
Bruce has the his hand is missing is the right hand.
Right.
So it's kind of weird, but
yeah.
nonetheless.
I was kind of afraid he would end up with the mechanical hand. and I'm
Don't
like,
don't try to tear
right.
apart too many things about
Oh
this
no,
film.
no.
We're gonna do it.
Oh, okay, we'll
But
be here
he,
all day.
Oh yeah. But he's like, what are you? He's like, I'm Evil Ash. And you're good Ash.
Goody
Goody
two
two-shoes.
shoes. Goody two shoes.
And it doesn't take too long before he just pulls out a shotgun and just blasts him in the face.
Yep.
And then we get like
That's-
a classic Bruce line, which you'll hear on Call to Campbell. We use
Good
it all the
Ash,
time.
bad Ash.
He's like
I'm the guy
good,
with-
bad.
I'm the guy with the gun.
And there you go.
Such a good line.
Such
Good
a great line.
God.
Just fucking Bruce, man.
And then he chops him up.
Yep, buries
buries
him,
him.
and he kind of his head taunts him as he,
Yeah. He's like,
oh, there was a good line there.
What's on your face? Dirt.
Yeah.
Just plop
Dirt
right
right
onto the Evil Ash's face. That was great.
and this takes us to the cemetery.
Yep. They get to the cemetery.
Yeah.
Finally, we've reached the cemetery.
This was another cool set piece.
I love the
man.
set. This is like a super cool, like just gothic, like
Very
closed
gothic
set,
horror.
soundstage. Lightning in the background, the dead
Yep.
trees, the
The kind of altar that the books are
the
on.
altar
Right.
it's on. He
Yep.
goes up there and it's revealed there's not one Necronomicon.
Nope.
There's 3.
And he's like, I don't know what to
I
do.
don't know what to do here.
It's
Do I
like,
take one and leave 2? Do I
Yeah,
take
he's
all
like,
3? What do I
Nobody
do?
said anything about 3 books. Hold on.
Yeah,
He opens the first one. It's just like a
Black
just a
hole.
portal. It's like it's basically it's a black hole.
like
And it
just-
like sucks him completely in. Like it
Yeah.
sucks him completely into the black hole. We get some
Comes
really cool.
crawling out.
There's some really cool like practical effects, like
Yes.
too when he's like when he opens the book up, like you see it sucks his fingers in, his fingers come elongated.
get like
you see later his
stretched.
arms are stretched and it pulls him in, and then he pops back up and his jaw is like 2 feet.
Yeah, 2 feet longer from
Yeah.
the effort of pulling out. It, like, you know, you could see the visual effects stretching him out, and then they did this really cool practical mask of his chin like stuck like that. Like
And he shakes it.
Shakes it. We have like
it's a
3 of
little
those.
shorter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shakes
just
it a
where
little
it
bit.
Gets a little bit
shakes
better
again.
each time.
Yep. Until finally he's back to normal, his normal massive chin instead of the
Fake one,
prosthetic.
Don't use
massive
So-
chin.
Don't use the word massive. It's distinguished.
Yeah,
Sorry.
distinguished.
Most people, I figure he'd probably like us calling it massive. Most people do, right?
Oh yeah.
No,
So-
massive implies too big.
So we've ruled out 1 book. We have 2 left.
Yep.
Checks
He-
the next one and gets
He
nibbled.
the next one is like the book is alive. Like bites his fingers.
Yep.
Well, he
He
about went
chucks
for
it-
the right one first.
He did. He about went
Yeah.
for
He's
it.
just like, you ain't gonna get me.
Yeah.
Going over here for this one.
Yep.
So he grabs that one. It bites him. He throws it in the air. It has wings.
And he
it
starts
flies back.
flapping and
Yeah.
Flies back in his face.
So he fights it for a little bit and just closes it. And once it closes, it stops.
Yeah.
So now we know which one we've ruled out. Process elimination, of course, the last book.
Right.
So now,
Then he's like, wait a minute, I have to say words. And I was like, oh yeah, you have to say words. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh fuck,
He
I don't
gets
remember
it-
him. I know he don't.
He gets it almost. He gets Klaatu, Vrata.
And then
He can't think. He's like N-word.
Nike.
Nickel, Nike. Yeah, Nike. Nickel. What the hell was it?
he's like, it's an N-word.
It's an N-word. Yeah, not the N-word.
starts
but an
starts
N-word.
looking around. And
Yep.
Like, all right.
I'll just
I'll fake it.
Yep.
Yeah, Klaatu, Vrata. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, there, I said it.
Yeah,
That
guys
counts.
are-
Yeah, like he's like looking around.
Basically said it.
He's like,
Yeah,
I
basically.
said it
Didn't
to
say
whoever
every little
might be
syllable.
listening.
Maybe
Basically.
picks up the book.
Takes the book.
And all hell breaks loose.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you even say it's like you're surrounded by a lot of graves.
Yep. And what happens? A whole bunch of fucking skeleton hands start popping up out of the
That
ground.
was a cool sequence.
And this was one of my favorite, like, put together sequences /
Oh, yeah.
gags and the whole thing.
So he falls on the ground.
Yep. He's belly
see,
down.
We see there's skeleton hands all around him.
Yep.
And then we get a tight on his face, and it's just skeleton hands coming from all angles of the screen.
just
like,
doing all sorts of
The
things.
will of Sam Raimi
The wi-
animates
Oh
these.
my God.
Exactly. It's Sam Raimi again fucking with him. It's like how stooge can I get with this guy? Because they're like fish hooking him and picking his nose and
slapping
poking his
him.
eyes. I loved the part where he was, because these hands are just coming from fucking everywhere. He like puts his hand up to block his eyes from getting, poked by
And 2 of them coming
just
from-
coming from the sides and get him, and he's like, it's just like such a funny bit. And, it
And
just
then he
keeps
like
going.
he does that one where
It
his eyes
does
go real
go.
wide and they hit him from every single angle.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
he's
it's
like, wham! Yeah. Oh, it was so good. That was one of my favorite. That was probably
And
one
it
of my
goes
favorite
on for
parts.
a minute.
It
It goes
does.
on, a minute. But
They
it
linger
doesn't.
on
It
it.
doesn't feel like it went too long though. It's like
No.
Oh no!
it was
They
a
just
fun
hit all the
sequence.
right beats.
Yeah, it was a fun
Yeah.
sequence.
Yep.
So he finally recovers and he just hauls ass out of there.
Yeah.
And we see that there's still skeletons popping up. As
Right.
he's leaving.
We flash to the castle
Mhm.
where
Well, we flash as he's riding off. We flash to the windmill and we see
That's
lightning hit
right.
the castle, the grave, and Evil Ash just like materializes. It's
Yep.
like we see like a silhouette of him just like assemble.
Rising up.
He
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
said the
Assembling.
words right. This one never
He
happened.
assembles.
Yep.
And he actually, I actually think General Evil Ash has a really cool look to him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Evil Ash is great.
Yeah, he does. He has a really.
They
cool
just
look to him.
revealed him for the new Evil Dead game. They just revealed they had like a
Oh.
character reveal.
Cool.
Trailer came for him. It's one of the villains. to play
Nice.
as. But he materializes and he's like, I am alive.
Yeah.
So
Full
he
of
is
all
gonna,
the same one-liners that Bruce would have.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Just evil.
Just evil.
So Bruce rides into the castle. Everyone's cheering. He's got the book. He's got the book.
And even Ben's just like, hold on, you don't
Yeah.
see if you did it right.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, remember, so I think there was actually a flash before that when he was on it, when lightning is striking. And
Oh, yeah,
the
it's
wizard
like-
guy's
Oh,
like,
you're right.
something's amiss.
Something's amiss.
Yeah.
But
'cause
they
there's, like,
immediately
lightning
forget
hitting.
that when he comes riding in.
Yep.
Everyone's all cheering. He's like, get the fuck out of my face. He's like, get the fuck out of my face.
Fuck out of my face.
I like to think that was like an
Stomp it
overly
through.
zealous extra that had just been pushing it the whole set. And Bruce is finally like, get the fuck out of my face!
Fuck out of my face. God damn it.
So the wizard comes up. He's like, did you get the book? He's like, yes, I got the book. And he's like, did you say all the words right? He's like,
Not
pretty
every,
much,
not every
basically.
syllable.
Yeah, I didn't say every little syllable, but basically, yeah.
He's like, what do you say, dung eater?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
doomed us all. And he's like, no. You said you'd get me back. He's like, I can still get you back, but you've doomed us all. The evil is now.
The book is useless
the
to
book
us.
is useless to us, but they're still willing to send him back.
They are,
They're
yeah.
still
They
willing
have
to-
their honor.
At first, they're like, fuck you. And then
The one guy spoke.
the
up,
one
that's
guy
right.
says,
Yeah.
like, we are men of honor.
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
he came
Caterpillar.
and said that we'll
Bruce's
That
like,
was-
yeah, it's a deal.
Yeah.
Not realize
Even though
it's
the-
a subtle backhanded. Like,
Yeah.
we're good men. We help.
we are.
He's basically saying, yeah, but fuck you. Like,
And Bruce
you
is like,
know.
exactly. Fuck me. Send me home.
Yep.
So Sheila comes up and she's like, "You're leaving," and all this, and
She still believes in him.
she's
Yeah.
like, "What about everything we talked about? All the words you said to me?" He's like, "Baby, that was just pillow talk."
That's
She's
just what we
like-
call pillow talk.
talk. Like, you
she's
know.
telling him like it wasn't to me, all this, and
Yep.
then out of nowhere, a fucking flying demon just comes from the sky
Oh, grabs her. Yes, like goes directly for her.
and just picks her up, and that's where Bruce has to reconsider.
Yep.
Right, but like they're like, don't shoot. It's got the girl.
Right,
Like,
right.
fucking
Man.
shoot. What
Seriously.
are you
Yeah,
doing?
Eric was talking about that. If he
Yep.
ever gets picked up by a demon, I agree.
Yeah,
Like
if-
obviously, wherever it's taking you, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not gonna. And he knows enough.
Either try to save or kill it in the process.
Yeah,
It
like
just-
if I am being taken away by a flying
Uh,
demon and I'm screaming and
we shoot.
going, yes, please shoot. Like, don't try to hit me. Try to hit the demon, but like, do what you got to do, man, because it's
Yeah.
gonna be better than what happens to me with that demon.
Right.
Right, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is most definitely
Y'all
Starship.
heard it here. If you see Eric getting flown away by a deadite, shoot Eric right
Yeah.
in the head.
No,
Oh,
that's
hey.
not. That's not.
Yes.
Hey,
um,
that's the same for it's Starship Troopers rules. I'd expect any one of you to do the same thing. Hell no.
right. Yeah,
Just-
because it's not
Yep.
good. It's not.
Take
you're not
your
going
shots.
You're not going anywhere that you need to be going.
Yep. And
if a demon has lifted you
Yeah.
up and flying you
Fucking
there,
risk it.
yeah,
risk it. Yeah.
risk it, because we see what happens to her. It's she
yeah.
may. I'm sure she would have preferred the arrow.
We
So-
do see what happens to her. It turns out okay, Eric.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's weird. In the end,
We'll
yeah, I
get to
guess
it.
it's luckier than any of the other.
So he lets it fly away. If the Deadite would just wait a little longer, Bruce would have been gone, and
Yep.
they would have had to fight nobody.
yeah,
Like,
Right.
they would.
they
Yeah,
would
if they
just
had
mowed
waited a
over all
moment,
these people, and it would have been just fine.
that would have been it.
So
That would've been
he,
it, 'cause that made him decide to stay.
so they're still fully prepared to send him back. We cut to these three scouts come back. We cut to the graveyard where all the
Yes.
skeletons are digging each other up and like
Right.
the
They're
one
getting armor
Skeleton
together.
Deadites.
yeah they're all
Yep.
talking and shit. The one's like
And apparently, these skeleton Deadites.
welcome back to the
Skeleton
land of the
Deadites.
living. Grab a shovel, get back to work.
Yes, I see here that the skeleton Deadites were an homage to
Oh.
a tribute to
Jason
visual
Argonauts.
effects legend Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, Ray
Ray
Harryhausen.
Harryhausen.
Ray Harryhausen. He's like the stop motion godfather. He did that. Jason Argonauts.
Okay, which is why I thought.
Clash of the Titans,
Yep.
the Adventures of Sinbad, all that stuff.
Sinbad, yeah.
He is like the
Even as
pioneer.
late as like Mighty Joe Young stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was like a pioneer. Then like CGI
You put him
killed him, put him out of work. Yeah,
put him out of the job.
but Sheila gets brought up to the altar where we see Evil Ash,
Lash.
and he like grabs her plants a kiss on
Give
her.
me some sugar, baby.
Yeah, give me some sugar, baby. And he's got that fucking underbite thing going on.
Yep, with no lips. But
No lips.
he's just going to give her a big old gooey kiss.
Then we cut back to the
That's
castle.
totally all that happens. Just the kiss. That's
Yep.
all we
They're
swear.
dragging
That's
in
all
all
we see.
kinds of girls. Did we?
They were.
Did we
like,
see any kind of conclusion to them dragging in all
Nope.
those girls?
That's kind of where I think some of that missing, those missing minutes are from the release. You know what I mean?
Could
like
be,
one
could
release
be.
is longer than the other. It's like, what were they doing with all those women?
Maybe.
And why? Like
I
what?
don't know.
They're
yeah.
skeletons. They
Like-
don't have dicks.
Yeah, we didn't see a conclusion on that at all.
Like I don't know what they're after here.
They're gonna be boning them, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
they're boning.
oh, there's the pun.
So then that's where we get the scouts come back to the castle. And they're like, there's
Yep.
an army of the dead amassing at the in the
Cemetery.
forest.
Yeah, in the forest, in the wilderness. Yeah.
2 days ride. They're 2 days ride
yeah.
out,
It's like, well, you got back fast, didn't you?
and they're all prepared to fight. They're like, well, how do we do this? Then Ash pipes up.
Yep, he's standing atop the wall.
And he gives him he says, we're going to stay here. We're going to fight. I'm staying. He basically says he's staying there.
Yeah.
They're all like, everyone's already fled. We don't even have an army.
Yeah,
There's
there's
like
like
60.
60 of us.
60. Yeah, there's 60 of them. He's like, who all is with me? And there's
Well,
like
he
this-
says we can get the Reds.
yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
get the
that's
Reds.
We'll
right.
get the Reds
The
to fight alongside us,
They'll
and that
come
goes
in.
over like a wet fart.
Yep. He's like, who all is with me? And there's like an awkward silence.
Yep.
And then finally, the blacksmith, who we know from last week's review.
Oh.
My name is Bruce.
Yes.
He was one of the main characters in My Name is Bruce.
Yep.
He pipes up. He's like, yeah, you have my axe. You know what he says? Or you have my
So,
steel.
you have
Yeah.
my axe, you have my sword, and you have my bow. No, I'm just kidding.
It is basically
Yeah,
that. It is
pretty
that.
much. Yeah.
It is that. We have because it's the blacksmith. There's Ted Raimi makes his
Oh, yeah,
first
that's
appearance,
right.
maybe?
Ted
or his
Talley.
first I think it's might be his second appearance in the movie. I
Is
think
it
his
his
first
second
appearance.
one?
I think his first appearance is like earlier on when like they're all freaking out over the the book. Or no, when the
He's
flying
first
thing.
seen as a sympathetic villager,
A sympathetic.
then as a
villager.
dying soldier during the final battle, and finally as the SMAR employee at the last scene.
Okay, so that probably
Ted
is the
Raimi
first
pulling
time. that
triple
we-
duty, just
yeah.
like in My Name is Bruce.
Yep.
Fucking Ted Raimi, master of acting.
Yes.
He's so diverse.
He's a
Okay,
and a
so-
master of disguise.
Do we not like Ted Raimi?
I'm indifferent to Ted Raimi. He was in a really, really bad movie we had to sit through, though.
I hold
Yeah.
him personally responsible for Man with the Screaming Brain.
I can't hold him.
I hold him.
Bruce wrote, directed, and starred.
I
in Man
think
with the
so. I think some movies are so bad that as a member of the crew, you have the responsibility to abstain.
Screaming. Yeah, I guess he is Bruce's
And when he was handed that part that he had with Man in the Screaming Brain, if he had a shred of dignity,
Oh,
he would have been
yeah.
like, "Go fuck yourself." But instead,
Hell no.
not only did he do it, he inflicted the world with that fucking performance.
But hell, you can't blame him. Hell, he got a all expenses paid
I
trip to
can't-
Bulgaria. out of that.
I can't
Yeah.
blame him. That is a money like to
I mean,
to
you wouldn't take a job to go to Bulgaria.
No, Ben won't go to Bulgaria with us.
No, I won't.
Apparently, he's sit down that.
I
trip.
will happily go to Bulgaria. What I won't do is go to Bulgaria and then contribute to the pollution of our already dying ecosystem of Hollywood.
Okay.
We're gonna make it better. We're gonna make Bulgaria
They're
great again.
friends. They prop each other up. They help each other out. He's got his back even for.
Do you
the
think that
terrible
helped
movies.
him?
There's really.
Uh,
I mean, it could have.
You think that catapulted
I
Ted
think
Raimi's
he's in-
career?
It didn't help him. We dinged points
Ted
on
was
that movie
helping
based on that
Bruce.
character.
It could-
That movie would have been better without that character.
I mean, I guess in that case, Tyler's kind of like Bruce, just subjecting us to very terrible things.
And I hold him responsible for that too.
Yeah.
So who's the Ted in this group?
Tyler.
No,
Tyler's
I'm
the
not. I'm
Ted.
not the Ted.
No, Tyler's the Bruce
I'm the-
subjecting the Ted to terrible things.
Yeah, I'm the Bruce. I'm the
Sam.
Bruce.
Are we
You know
all the
that?
He
I'm
would be
the
Sam
Bruce.
Raimi.
Oh,
Are we
yeah,
all
I
the
Oh,
Teds?
I'm Ted Raimi. Yeah, I'm Sam Raimi.
You're Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Do we have a Bruce in this case then?
Do we have a Bruce? I don't think
I don't
any
think we
of
have
us
a
could
Bruce.
claim the title of Bruce.
But man, I tell you what. After watching My Name is Bruce, God, I'm glad. Ted Raimi, if he had a career, he wouldn't have after My Name is Bruce.
Oh,
after
yeah.
that performance of My Name, that was
Yeah.
that was
Yep.
the
tough.
Chinese guy.
That was
Oh
very.
my gosh, that was. Whew. And you know Ted Raimi doesn't have an ounce of Chinese in him, so there's like nothing.
No.
You can't even claim anything. Like,
Yep.
wait a second, I'm a 8 Chinese.
The only thing that I could throw myself on where I am was that usually in films it's okay to be kind of schlocky like that when it's the villain. Right. Like you can kind of shit on
Yeah.
the villain a little bit.
Which he was at the last minute, I
He
guess.
was,
Yeah.
so you could kind of play that card. But boy, I'd only do that if I was backed into a corner.
Look at you kind of defending Ted.
No.
I'm not. Ben's starting to see like
Listen.
maybe.
No.
Maybe there's a chance for Ted.
If
Maybe
you're
there's a
standing
place.
on a boat and you see a jackass dive into the water with a shark, you can go swim faster, man. That's not standing up for him.
But see, the thing is, like Ted, like he actually had a pretty decent little career in the '90s, though.
Did he? Oh, yeah.
He had that TV show, Sequest or C Lab, whatever it was called.
Oh my god!
He was like pretty like he had an action figure and everything out of that show. Like they
Wasn't that the one with
had Roy Schneider.
Yes.
Roy Schneider.
Oh my god!
The first season of that is really good. The first season is really good. The first first season is like really grounded. You know, it's just a bunch of people in this like deep sea submersible that are exploring depths of the ocean. It's basically Star Trek for the ocean.
But
in the second season,
Yes.
They go really heavy in the Star Trek thing where like
I've heard of
they
this.
meet like they start having like aliens interact with them and stuff, and it kind of goes off the rails.
Huh.
The first season though is pretty solid. It's
Aren't
like
they
it's, like,
talking to
straightforward.
dolphins in that show?
Yeah, they have like telepathic.
Telepathic
Like-
dolphins.
Well, they're like kind of like the Amy from Congo type deal. Like they've got a communication thing with.
They've
them.
got a technology that allows
Gotcha.
it.
But
Oh,
in
I see.
the second and third season, they go kind of off the rails with like the supernatural and out
Yeah.
of the world kind of stuff. But we're not here to talk about Sequest.
As fun as it is, talking to dolphins.
Yes.
We're talking about how Bruce just rallied these men and going to give an afternoon of training now.
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah.
he's like training them, and me and Eric looked at each other. It's like it was a straight up shot for shot they did in the Fall of Sam Axe.
Fall of Sam Axe.
Yeah, they do this exact same sequence in Fall of Sam Axe. He's training the
like he's
militia.
training them how to use their spears.
Yeah, and he's
That made no. Actually, it ended up making sense to me.
it
at least,
did.
but
It did. It was
but,
probably
like,
something he learned in a movie or something like that.
How does it make sense?
because I think that at that point the Army of the Dead stopped and let them get themselves get hit because they were confused as fuck. They were like, what are they doing?
But how does it make sense that they would allow a person like I would hope that they would be better with a spear than he would be.
Well, and that's why I don't think it. Yeah,
doesn't.
it's like why would they? But
They-
it
they
pays off.
No,
It pays off.
they wouldn't.
So while they're doing all in this montage, we see that he brings the car in.
Yep,
They recover the car. They open the trunk, and in there he's got his engineering books.
and it's
Chemistry
has-
101.
He has
Chemistry
like,
101.
chemistry 101, and he has a steam engine book as well,
right.
which they turn the Delta into a steam powered
War machine.
war machine. So they make gunpowder, all this stuff.
Yep.
And now it's time for our big
Climactic battle.
Lord of the Rings esque.
Yes.
And it's I mean I don't mean to sound condescending. I mean, it's not on the scale of Lord of the Rings, but it's a pretty fucking impressive little battle sequence.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's
No,
do that.
I actually think that the Army of the Dead looked really cool, and I think the battle turned out pretty well. Like it was a
Yeah.
pretty sweet battle.
And they didn't have nearly as much as they made it look.
Right.
Like they didn't have these dozens and dozens of skeletons. I mean, they were doing. I guarantee they were doing some pretty creative shit with like reusing.
Oh,
skeletons,
yeah.
moving him,
And you
turning him,
could
swapping out heads, arms, shit like that.
they were doing a really nice blend of like practical and makeup and puppet
A green screen
and
too,
green screen
because
like
you'd have like a shot. Like you could tell they filmed like a shot of like the skeletons moving.
yeah
Then they would green screen over and
More
insert
skeletons.
right.
more skeletons,
So
like
they-
running past and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they
They
utilized.
blended like a lot of different techniques into
Right.
that to make it like
I mean, Sam Raimi.
to
Like,
sell it, I
how
think, the
did
way
he?
it looked.
I wonder if he was ever in consideration for Lord of the Rings when they were shop around directors. I wonder if it was ever like brought up. Like,
Whoa. No.
Somehow I doubt it.
you think, you don't think?
Nothing against him. Like he
Right.
probably could have. Yeah, I just don't think he's
I don't know
Yeah.
if that was a Raimi film.
right.
That
right.
would be a flaming.
I
dump.
mean,
Of course, you
I
could
mean,
say the same about Pete
you
Jackson.
can say Peter
He was a
Jackson,
horror director
because he was doing
that's a
fucking
good point.
Dead Alive, and Dead Alive
Yeah.
is way more fucking out here
Like,
than
actually,
Evil Dead.
yeah.
It has no scope like this did.
Like
I imagine at some point some studio executive was like, "What about Raimi?" Yeah, I imagine at some point.
You know, yeah. Sorry, I did kind of forget about what Jackson's career was before the Lord of the Rings. It's
man,
it was basically Sam Raimi too.
I will say,
just
like,
not as good.
This a hot take. This hot take. I do not like Peter Jackson's horror movies. I do not like them. No, they are too much for me. Like
much?
They are too much for me. They're like
too much horror or too much gross.
Too gross.
Too gross.
Like I have a kind of a weak stomach when it comes to kind of stuff. But like I don't mind gross when it's like some of his movies are just like kind of like
Dead Alive's the one where the dude picks up the lawnmower, right?
Yeah, there's that. There's all kinds of weird shit. Like, there's like a baby and stuff that grosses me out. And like there's a zombie baby. It just fucking freaks me out. I own it on DVD because like it's like a very valuable DVD. So that's one reason I hang on to it.
Yeah, you keep it in your vault next to
Super Mario Brothers.
There we go.
My stack of Super Mario Brothers. I'll send you guys a picture.
How many copies of Super Mario Bros. Do you have, Ben?
None.
Eric?
No.
I also have none.
I don't have any either. Tyler, how many do you have?
5.
He has 5.
He has one for fucking each of us.
Yes, I do. I keep one on my shelf open, one on my shelf unopened, and then I have one I used to keep in the car, but it got too hot, so I couldn't keep it in the car.
Why did you keep it in the car?
In case I need to watch Super Mario Brothers.
In case he's out somewhere to sleep over.
In case I'm out, like maybe I stay night with someone. They're like,
oh my god,
my Wi-Fi's out. I don't even know to watch.
So you keep it in your car?
Let me go around.
I'll be right back. I'll run out to my car.
You know what that was? That's Tyler's equivalent of a murder.
And then I keep 2 in my safe. So after the apocalypse, when everything's done, everything's
still
lost.
2 copies.
Yeah, there's still 2 copies. You know, these wasteland wanderers, they discovered a safe, they crack it open. What are these discs? And then boom,
must be very valued.
And then they rebuild civilization off the lessons learned by John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins.
Is the safe fireproof and such?
Oh, it's you ought to see. I have an upgraded safe now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so Super Mario Bros. Will surpass
the bar I work with on the side. They gave me like a full-on like industrial safe because someone found out the passcode and they didn't know how to change the passcode.
I just absolutely
it's like
cannot
industrial
believe the lengths that you have gone to for that movie.
I didn't buy this. I didn't get the safe just for the movie. I have the safe for other things. I didn't upgrade the safe. I'm like sitting there in my house, like, all stressed out. I'm like, man, I'm watching the news. I'm like, things are really getting crazy. Like, what am I? This world's getting a little crazy. Like, what am I going? Like, I don't trust my Super Mario Brothers in that little safe anymore. I need to upgrade my security.
What happened was he happened to get the safe and he immediately thought, oh, Mario Brothers will be safe now.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say the fact...
I'm like panicking as I'm like moving it from one side. I'm like, shit, I gotta hurry, get in there.
Get it in there quick.
The fact that you felt the need to put 2 copies of them in a safe. I don't give it there. It's a moral equivalent as to you going out and buying it just to put them in there. It's the exact same.
Well, for a while, the reason I had 5 is because for a while there was a cool little hack you could do on Amazon where Mario Brothers wasn't available on Prime, but if you bought $25 worth of stuff, you could add something to your cart and get free shipping if it was under $5, and they had Mario Brothers in there for $4.99. So I could go and I could just click right. I get my package in the mail and there's a little bonus Mario Brothers in there.
5 fucking times.
I was just saying, how does that make any sense?
It makes sense.
It doesn't. If they were 5 different different cuts or something, maybe.
There's only one cut. You only need one cut. They got it right the first time. Can't fix what ain't broke.
Oh my god.
So the army of Deadites are on the way.
Get us
we went on a lot of tangents here. We're talking about Sequest,
It's all right.
Mario Brothers.
I bring this back. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had a good time watching this. That's what it was. We had a good time watching Army of Darkness.
We did. This was a very good time.
It's a very fun cutback and relax
film.
It just makes you think of so many other things. That's all.
So we get the big battle, and it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of shit in it, and at first, they're just kicking the Deadites' ass.
Yeah,
they have the explosive arrows,
yes.
And apparently all this was because Raimi had to fight for an R rating for this film.
Had to fight
it was like an NC-17 for a long time, but they had to.
What?
They basically had to point out they're like the gore that you're giving an NC-17 for is happening to skeletons.
Yeah,
right.
They had to emphasize that it was getting
What?
NC-17 rating
what?
because of all the gore
NC-17?
happening to skeletons.
There's hardly any
Listen.
actual gore. The only real gore I can
That's
think
what
of
I was
is
saying.
it's like the
if it wasn't skeletons, it's exploding body parts going everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it wasn't
guess.
skeletons,
Okay,
imagine
he
if
had
it was
to-
just humans.
But Evil Dead 2, I take it, didn't have that kind of trouble.
I don't know.
Listen, the rating system in our fucking country is fucked, and it has been for decades.
Right.
What's that documentary?
Absolutely fucked.
There's a documentary went in deep into the.
Oh, that was when
I'll
Trey
actually get mad
the
about
Trey
it if we go
Parker
into
and Trey Parker and Matt Stone did that one. This film is not yet rated. I think it was
Yeah,
called.
yeah, it's a good film. If y'all,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
y'all
Does it
get in-
critique the-
Oh,
that-
yeah, it's all about
they
it.
into
do they tear apart like the rating system
Because
Trey
it's
Parker,
garbage.
Matt Stone. Yeah,
it's
they
hypocritical,
go in, like,
bureaucratic, fucking
they
garbage.
they kind of like in a way like kind of dox like everyone on the board, like go into like what qualifies these people to, like that's kind of one of the main things.
Yeah.
What qualifies these people to like tell us
Yeah.
what we can and can't watch. Like
Right.
there's we talked about this on the I think the Moontrap review. I'm pretty
Do
sure.
we? Did
We
I get
talk-
angry
Yeah, we
about
talk
it
about
then
the-
too?
We talked about like we talked for some reason we went in a little bit on like the rating system.
Yeah.
There's like this famous story I read about over in Europe. Every movie has to be rated. It's not like in America where you can bypass rating system in America.
You can.
You can get
but
it unrated,
it's
but
like-
you can't get theatrical.
Yeah.
You can't put an unrated film
which
in
is
theaters.
a step up from the way
So
it used
that's
to be.
that's why a lot of straight to DVD horror movies are unrated.
Unrated. Yeah.
But in Europe you can't do that. For you to get your movie released has to be rated.
Well, they sound
So
like
this,
their system's fucked too.
So this guy made a 24-hour long film of a wall with drying paint.
yeah.
And submitted it to the National Film Board.
Because they
Because
have to watch it.
They have to watch the whole. They have to watch the whole thing. Yeah, because they can't just, they can't watch like 5 minutes. Like, oh, it's fine. Because then what if 15 hours in, there's a dick pops
Yeah,
up in there,
just sudden penis.
yeah. So they had to
Yes.
watch this whole fucking film
Oh my god.
of a white wall just drying, paint just drying
Oh,
for
my
24
God.
hours.
I want to do something like that to our rating system, people. Oh, please. Just like the most unwatchable shit.
No, they just
Just
deny it. Like, we're not watching this. That's what they do.
I
That is
don't-
what they would do because
I don't know if they can.
Man. Mm.
I don't know. It's screwed.
I remember
it.
it was like a
It's
big thing
screwed
for a
up.
while though, like films just being released like unrated. Just like,
Yeah.
oh my
the thing
Which
is
good.
like people don't even use that fucking rating system. Like, didn't Ted prove that when like all the Ted and Deadpool both kind of proved that where parents were just like, oh, we took our kids because we thought this. It's like the ratings all
the
over.
public? Yeah, the
Yeah,
public
the public
doesn't
doesn't use
No,
it.
They don't use
they
it.
don't pay
It's-
attention to that shit at all.
No.
definitely
no.
used to, I think, but no.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they probably did. You're right. But that was when they trusted it.
Because I think it was more just to keep kids out of going to theaters by themselves to watch these.
That
kind
was
of
the
films.
reason that they gave, yes.
It was a reason, sure.
It was for the kids.
That's-
The-
that's
for the
just-
kids is a great calling.
Won't
But you know
somebody
what's
think of the
weird?
children?
Yeah. Someone think of the children, and then you
There's
can
like
just
another,
put a stranglehold on. Ugh.
Talking about like the ratings
Ugh.
and how restricted everything is. Me and Michael watched a documentary not too long ago, or probably years ago,
Bro.
because it's not like on Netflix anymore. It was called Clean Flicks. I think what it's called.
Oh yeah.
There's this like company that was out in Colorado, where like Mormon country,
Mhm.
and they were taking movies, and all they wanted was the TV cuts of movies, because
Uh-huh.
it fit the Mormon guidelines.
Right,
PG-13.
They wanted like the TV cuts of like Bad Boys or Aliens or something.
Right.
They wanted those.
But you can't
and
get those
and those aren't available anywhere. You can't just get them anywhere. So what CleanFlix was doing was like obtaining them
Uh-huh.
and renting them. They had like a brick and mortar rental store,
Okay.
and like the National Film Board and like all these companies like came down on them, sued them, everything.
Well, because they did their own
like,
edits.
Yeah, they did their own edits. Basically,
okay.
they're doing the edits. They're altering
Right.
it, but at the same time, like a lot of like filmmakers are even like upset over it because they were like, oh, they're altering our
Right.
art and stuff
Right.
like this.
Yeah.
But it's like this weird like thing. They were cleaning up these films for their own purposes, but I guess it came down to them making money off it was probably the big.
I was gonna say
Right.
that to me.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of people getting butthurt about money because
Yeah.
none of them, not a single one of those fuckers, including the director, stands up for that kind of shit when it goes to TV.
and
Not
right.
a one of
and
them.
Yeah.
that was one of the main points that people like that did CleanFlix were like saying like,
Because
well,
yeah.
why don't you just like put these out and there's a market for them because they were making
Yeah.
money. They're like, there's a market for this. Why don't you? These films exist.
Right.
Why don't you?
Because you make them for TV, they're there.
Yeah. But that's agreed upon by the studios or whoever has the rights. to
It's
the
about
movies.
money. It's
Yeah,
got nothing
it
to
is
do
about
with
money.
it's got. So anybody that's claiming like, oh, they're editing our art, I'm telling you to shut the fuck up because you absolutely do not present this argument when it goes to TV. So sit down, Junior.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely about money.
Like
But
you
anyways,
don't get to do that.
So Raimi
Yeah.
could have directed Lord of the Rings
yeah, he could
because of this scene coming.
no, he couldn't.
But it this whole sequence is badass. Then we get flaming arrows, we get battering rams, all the bits and bobs you want to see in like a castle scene in
Yeah.
this movie. And then we get the Delta.
Oh, yes. What? So after the skeletons have finally broken in, and they ram the door down.
Yeah, because they're winning just by sheer attrition.
Yeah.
They just have more.
They just have more to send in, and then out comes modded Delta.
It looks like something a fucking orc would drive.
It does. Orc from 40K.
Yep.
Yeah, just a huge spinning propeller. Was that from the windmill, come to think of it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, cool. That's cool. And he's just driving through. He's got all sorts of like
Spikes and
the whirly bit, and he's
steam engine going.
Yep.
they turned it into a convertible.
And
Apparently, the Delta 88 appears in all of Sam
Yeah,
Raimi's
They
films.
do, it does.
all
Yeah.
of his
So,
films.
yeah, that's-
Period. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even like it was in my name was Bruce too. That was the
kid
car
was
the
driving
drove.
it.
Oh, yep.
So
that's right.
Does it appear in Drag Me to Hell?
probably I think it appears in like everything.
I bet it's the car that the gypsy's driving.
Probably.
That'd be my
yeah.
guess. I'd have to watch.
Then
that.
we get the return of Sheila. She's
Yep.
evil Sheila, and Bruce all logic and
Yep.
Well, she don't look like evil Sheila to him at the
Right.
Yeah,
She's
yeah, she
pulling
does.
that
well,
old
so
Deadite
but we
trick.
did see her when they were amassing their armies. We saw
Yes,
her
we did
as
see that
the,
she was-
the priestess or whatever.
Yeah.
And because
We
they're
know she's dead.
right,
Yeah.
and there's also that agreed upon kind of unspoken thing. It's, if you have a schlocky horror movie, you have to include boobs, and there was just some
Boobs.
quick too.
Yep.
Boobs.
It's part of the contract.
what you sign up
she
for, okay?
fucks up the whole vehicle plan.
No,
Yes, he-
Ash fucks up the whole
Yeah.
plan.
Don't
He's a
blame her.
fucking-
That's not
yeah,
what
he
he would
bails.
say.
He
She
bails.
was just trying to make him stop,
Uh-huh.
but he decided to crash the car in the process.
Yep.
and
So this-
remove their biggest weapon.
And this is where
Yeah.
evil Ash returns, right, where he finally makes his
Yep.
where he pops up in the castle,
And
right?
apparently, that makeup for the evil Ash was 3 hours of makeup for that.
Oh, I'll
thing.
fucking bet.
That's
That was
actually not
pretty
bad.
Extensive.
That's not bad.
Because a lot of it was probably a mask and stuff too to kind of
Yeah.
mitigate a lot of that.
3
Yeah.
hours is pretty light
But
considering.
Yeah. Does Evil Ash come in before he deals with Sheila, evil Sheila?
After, I
After.
think.
It's
I
after.
mean,
It's after.
you see him on the hill and stuff.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't.
don't come
He
in.
does
Yeah.
because he keeps doing that like, oh, you.
Yeah.
doing all his little lines.
He doesn't. He's smart enough not to come in until after the car's
Right.
destroyed.
Lead from the back. Yeah. Because he ends up stabbing her with a spear and gets a one-liner in, right? In the battle with her, and then it wasn't much of a one-liner. Just called her ugly, I think.
Oh,
Basically-
we're not there yet.
No,
we're not there yet. Okay, that's
We're
where I
not
thought.
there
Yeah, sorry. I
We're
thought
getting
that
there.
happened.
The car just got
I'm
crashed.
jumping ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they're up on the balcony.
Yeah.
So Caterpillar is like defending the book.
Oh yeah.
And he's
Up on
doing a good
the-
He's
job
got
too.
like 3 or 4 arrows in him or
Yeah.
something.
Oh man, he gets he
One
is
guy
a
tries to
fucking
come help him, like,
trooper.
no, stay with the buck.
Yeah, he's tanking it.
Yeah, he is. He's going. He's kicking ass.
Can't trim his eyebrows, but he can fight like hell.
And this is where Evil Ash shows up because he like wrecks him, throws him off the side. We don't see him till the end. Like,
Yep.
I assumed he was dead up to this point.
Yeah, I don't think we see him again.
Not till the very end.
Yeah, he's alive at the end.
And then we finally get Ash v Evil Ash,
Yes.
mano a mano. The book is on the line, and
Dun,
this
dun, dun.
is pretty fucking awesome. Like it goes on for a while, like probably
Yeah.
a 10-minute long.
They
sequence.
go all over the place with it.
Yeah, that was a good fight scene between them because they're grabbing different spears and poles and swords and things are
And
getting.
torches, and
Yep.
then there's one point where they both have 2 swords and they're fighting up a stairwell.
That was a cool. The stair fight was really cool. Them kind of going up and down. Someone else is fighting a skeleton and dude gets stabbed. I liked when he was fighting Evil Ash on one side with one hand and the skeleton on the other side with the other hand, just flat against the wall of the staircase and
Right.
stuff like
and
that.
Ben still wants to know, like, where is this Ash? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. He died somewhere.
or is it just the embellished story still?
So either it's the embellished story or Ash got so like drunk, overweight, rusty in that trailer that part of him just shriveled up like an old prune.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like that becomes kind of like an overarching plot of the story of like the evil Ash vs. Evil Dead is him like trying to become like El Jefe. That's like
Yeah.
kind of like the main part. So I'd say it's probably pretty much what happened. He's like
Got flabby.
Got flabby.
got flabby. But
10 pounds
we
overweight.
get Ash vs. Evil
30.
Ash. And this thing goes on for a minute. It's like we get sword play.
Yeah.
They're like dual wielding swords at one point.
Yep. Oh, that was a cool bit.
Ash
yeah.
lights his face on fire.
He's on
Yes,
fire. And
with
now
the
is
torch.
this when
Yeah, I think because he lights
This
him
one,
on fire
Sheila-
and kicks him off the wall, and that's when
Yes.
Sheila shows
Sheila-
up.
Oh,
shows
here
up.
we go. Yeah.
and then she's like you found me beautiful once.
He's like, yeah, baby,
And
you
she,
got
she
real
has
ugly.
him she has him like over the ledge, and he's like, yeah, baby, you got ugly real quick. And like chucks her over. And like he turns around to like look, he's like, oh shit. Like he like realizes.
Yeah,
Oh no,
shit,
that was before he fights Evil Ash.
I thought so.
Because that's where he has a spear.
Yep.
Evil Ash chops in half. That's where we have
right.
all
So
Yeah.
he spears her and throws her over the top.
because Evil Ash like comes back almost immediately after like he gets lit on fire and falls over.
Right.
Like he pops back up almost immediately.
Just like
and
a
he's-
full skeleton.
Yeah, and
skin.
he's a skeleton, and that fight was cool. Like that last fight where he's skeletonized, because like that was a cool blend of like stop motion on the wide and stuff like that. It's like, holy crap, that looks really good. I thought like,
Yeah, for
just
the
thought
amount
that
of
was
money
a
they
sweet-
spent in the time period.
oh
all
yeah,
that, I think
yeah.
it looked good.
I thought that was super sweet.
And then he finally, Evil Ash throws Ash over the ledge. One of the gunpowder bags has been lit on the catapult.
Yeah. The torch fell
And-
down there.
And it's lit. And Evil Ash grabs the book and jumps down and lands like sitting on top of the catapult.
Yep.
And
Hovering
he's,
over
and he's
Ash.
like telling him like, I got the book, it's mine.
Yeah.
And Ash is like he's like buckle up bone face, something like that. You're in for a wild ride.
Yeah.
And chops his hand off with the book.
So
the book
catches the
catches
book.
and then chops the
the rope.
catapult.
Yep.
And it launches Evil Ash in the sky, and then boom, explosion.
Yep,
Because
the
that
gunpowder bag goes with him
tucked between his legs when it explodes.
And Sheila's fine, right?
somehow.
She-
Yeah, he goes
Yeah.
over to her, and her stomach wound is healed, and the fact that she was thrown off a building didn't do shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's fine. The evil has been defeated. We see the skeletons retreating, and they have.
Still
it's
wonder where he got the chemistry book to make the gunpowder.
he's a college student. He's a college student.
Yeah, but why isn't his car? Weren't they on like a cabin retreat without
They-
work?
all his
Maybe
engineer.
she was the student, and he was picking her up from college to go. So she just threw her shit
There's
in the bag.
answers.
I guess.
There's more answers to that than there are other things.
Plus he was
So-
more of a dork at the beginning of the series.
Yeah. So it's the next day. We see the kingdoms are like divided still.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, because we totally missed the charge of George the Red.
The Red show up.
George, yeah, he turns
So,
the tide. Yeah. So
it was
we
very
missed that.
Ride of the Rohirrim. Like
Right.
he came in when I don't know if Ash was quite fighting Evil Ash by then, but they had broken in. The car was destroyed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were fighting by then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then they came charging in a la, like I said, Ride of the Rohirrim. More or
Completely
less.
changed
Yep.
the tide
Changed
of
the
the
tide
battle.
of battle.
And there's like this part where Caterpillar and George the Red, they like come out like they're all called pissed.
Yep.
It looks like they're angry. They come in and then they just hug.
There you go.
And then everyone cheers.
Woo!
And then we just kind of cut to modern day and we hear Ash, kind of giving us dialogue. He's like, yeah, I could have stayed. It
No,
would've-
because the wise man gives him the
Oh,
potion.
yeah.
Right,
the wise
right,
man gives
right.
the potion. Tells
He's
him,
like,
yeah,
drink this and say these words, and this
Yeah.
will get you back to your time.
And then
Right.
it goes to, and he's like, I could have stayed, but
They
I
want to make me
decided-
their king, but
yeah,
you know.
but I decided to drink the stuff and come home.
Yeah.
It's like, did you
And-
say the words?
and
right?
he's telling the story to Ted Raimi. It's revealed.
It's Ted Raimi.
And he's like, I said them mostly,
Not every syllable.
not every little syllable.
But basically,
And then the girl comes in. Who's the girl supposed to be? Is this supposed to be his girlfriend? Or?
No, I think she's just a
Just an
a
employee.
smart employee.
yeah.
Yeah, she comes in. She's
Well, is
like,
it- hold
she's like,
on.
I think the story about you being king is really cute. And
Oh, yeah,
where
that's
was
right.
Bridget Fonda?
Bridget Fonda was
Bridget
the
Fonda was the
was his girl stand-in for his girlfriend at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, she finally got to work with Raimi. This is like her.
Yeah.
She was like a big Evil Dead 2 fan. She originally auditioned to be Raimi's previous film Darkman, but didn't get the part.
Well,
No.
that's cool.
Good for her. Right.
That's awesome.
And they're like she says like I think it's really cute. And then what happens like to y'all's attention like
The lights flicker, the wind kicks up,
Yeah.
lightning starts happening.
Yeah.
and then we get this like Karen looking bitch turns around.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a Karen. It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
just a
definitely.
Karen.
It
Yeah.
It
was.
wasn't even
Yeah.
a Deadite. It was just a
Wasn't even a
Karen.
Deadite.
guy.
Just a Karen.
Then she's like, I'll swallow your soul. And she,
He pulls out a lever action rifle, and what he says, like, "Hey, she bitch,
Yeah, hey,
come
bitch,
get some."
Let's go.
And she's just like, "Who the fuck are you?" Just
Ash, housewares.
housewares.
Yes, that was great.
So he throws his rifle up in
Oh
the
my
air,
God,
and
it's
jumps
so-
up on
He
a
does
dolly,
this.
and rides that fucker into battle.
Yes. So
Catches the rifle as he goes.
and he must fire like 20, 40 shots this whole fucking sequence.
Yep.
It's like he does not reload all. He
Just
just
lever action.
Like,
Yep.
it's like-
Pow, 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 pow,
And he
pow.
just
Shoots her
blows
down.
her
Blows her.
complete to pieces.
Yep. And then he kills her. Everyone's standing around, and we hear his voiceover. He's like, "I could have stayed behind and been king in my own way."
I am the king.
And he grabs the one. He says, "Hail to the king, baby!
Hail to the king, baby!"
Gives it.
And that ends Army of Darkness.
There we go.
Wow.
The studio changed the ending.
Yes. I was gonna bring this. I was gonna bring this up. Yeah, the
What?
original ending was supposed to be that when he gets the potions, he's supposed to be given 7 potions. He's supposed to be given 7 potions, and he drinks 6 of the potions. Doesn't get the 7th, passes out, and he wakes up, and it's a post-apocalyptic future.
Oh fuck! Because he didn't finish.
Yeah,
the
because
last
I guess the potion was to be he sleeps till the time that he.
potion.
But he didn't drink the 7th, so he overslept into the future. So he wakes
Interesting.
up, and it's the post-apocalyptic future, and it's the Deadites are like completely taken over. I'm pretty sure like one of the games for the PS2 is like that.
in that world.
In that world. I think it's like a fistful of boomstick. I'm pretty sure is like that.
A
world.
fistful of boomstick.
Yeah. And
That's a name.
so Sam, Ivan, and Bruce, I think they had to give up their own money to
do that, to
reshoot
redo the ending.
ending. Studio did not want that.
Yeah,
ending.
you can find the ending and director's cut of
that's
like
cool.
home video versions of.
Oh man,
Was
I
it-
didn't know that was a thing. I was looking it up. I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was filmed.
Yeah, you can find it as a director's cut.
That's where I would be telling the studio, if you want a different ending, you can give me some more money.
I mean-
for
Oh
it.
yeah, there's no way I would pay
Yep.
for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's talk about. I'm ready to talk about the quality of Campbell in this, baby.
Let's talk about the quality of Campbell.
I bet everyone's on the edge of their seat waiting to hear our opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure they can't figure that shit out.
We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Let's hear the quality of Campbell.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
All right, we're back here with the quality of Campbell.
Right.
We just wrapped Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness.
And wow,
Holy cow!
I'm just I said it during the review. This is like premium Bruce. Like this is the best looking Bruce, the most charismatic Bruce. Which that's saying a lot because Bruce is fucking one of the most charismatic people I've ever seen.
Yep.
But this is like uber levels of charisma. I mean, it's such a weird thing. It's like this is 1993. This comes out. It's like a major studio film. He's the lead, and he like wraps this movie and like doesn't. That's the weirdest thing about Bruce's career in general. He did this like massive epic studio film, theatrical, and doesn't really do anything other than this. Then go back to doing straight to video shit.
Well, that's because I think that's because Hollywood has always been overly critical and hostile to horror.
Yeah,
They don't
Yeah,
give it.
right.
I don't think they give it any sort of weight whatsoever.
right.
Well, and frankly, I just think I think he really does this because he enjoys acting and creating movies like this, and he'll just kind of whatever it takes to do that. I mean, I imagine once you get to a certain point with studios, it's quite a quagmire of
Right.
bullshit that you have to wade through. And he probably just is like, no, I just want to act. I just want to be in movies.
Damn, they
Just
just
whatever
they
it'll
put
be.
$1 million of their own money into making this
They had-
finish.
Wow.
Yeah, they weren't even. They
God,
weren't a little-
love that group. They are passionate. They will
know.
put, they put so much, especially into this franchise.
Have you ever seen like because the studio like I'm sure they were pretty uncomfortable with like marketing a movie this big with someone like Bruce Campbell in the lead.
Yeah.
Like if you ever look at the like I think I might be on the Blu-ray over there. There's like hey Michael, grab the Blu-ray off the. But the cover art for the fucking movie is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
The way Bruce looks on it, like they
Oh, yeah.
beef him up in it. And he talks about the studio did that because they were like,
Oh.
this was like show it to Eric. Like, look at that.
Oh
Look at
my lord, he looks like he's built like
Arnold
Wolverine.
Schwarzenegger.
And
right?
look at what's her face, Sheila down there.
I'm pretty sure
just
it's not
her
even the
dress
woman.
hanging off of
I'm pretty
her.
sure it's not even her. It's like
It
that's like a
might
running
be.
thing with Evil Dead. Like I don't think
It's
it's
not
ever
the
been
same
that,
woman
yeah,
as-
never been the
yeah.
same woman.
I do like that they have the tiny ashes in there with a fork
Right.
at his feet.
But
That's good.
there's even a more ridiculous cover than that too that they released around the same time. It's like him like with his arm. It looks
nuts.
it looks just like the Conan the Barbarian
Uh-huh.
cover, but it's ripped, shredded, thick ass Bruce. But I know like the studio was like trying to make him look like
Oh my
Arnold
God.
Schwarzenegger, kind of like Rambo type thing, like
Right.
trying to make it seem like a bigger action film.
Hey Tyler, who's William Lustig?
That
Oh,
is
that
the
sounds
director
familiar.
of not just Maniac Cop, but Maniac Cop 2 and Uncle Sam.
He did a cameo as Fake Shemp.
What?
Oh,
Wow, Bill Lustig is in a lot. There's a lot of.
good
Shit.
for Bill.
I believe he also part of the stuff too. I think William Lustig was part of the stuff too.
Was
He's
he
one of the writers
really?
of stuff.
Jesus Christ Almighty! How does this guy keep getting work?
So you know what the interesting thing is about this?
He
cover?
did Maniac Cop 2. They can't. That's how he redeemed himself.
That's how he redeemed himself.
He's like, I got me
I
a
don't
cup, but
know.
hey, here's me a cup too.
Okay.
So if you go by
That's what I want for Christmas. I want you guys to watch me a cup too.
Oh my God.
So-
That'll be
Cancel Christmas.
That'll be
Cancel Christmas.
No,
Michael-
thank you.
Michael doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Oh, I know.
Other fake ships to be found.
They have
in the-
changed the subject for
Yeah.
exposed.
Yeah. Other fake ships to be found in the movie include Campbell's brother and father and director Bernard Rose.
Oh,
Bill Mosley's in it too as one of
I
the.
wonder who
Deadites.
played his dad. That's cool.
Fake ship is the term that originated the Three Stooges.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Man, Three Stooges is all over these movies.
Yeah, just that slapstick,
if it-
30s, 40s comedy. Is
Like,
all
what
over.
would have happened if Sam Raimi wasn't such a Three Stooges fan? Like, would we even have the Evil Dead franchise?
I love it how he like decided I want to take this slapstick comedy and make it horror.
Just make it horror.
Yeah.
And it was like
works.
perfect.
Because it is
Yeah.
like it is like horrific shit they're doing to
Yeah.
each other. In the Three Stooges, I mean, like, what would all you gotta do is think like, what
Right.
would be the fuck I said
This
drew a
does have
blank.
the alternate ending on it.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, that might be
Alternate
But-
ending.
But it's like
Maybe that can be our alternate ending.
so. But yeah, I just love it. It's like it's that slapstick comedy and the horror. It just blends so well, and like he did it. Like no one else was doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's like it's that kind of combination that you don't expect to work, but it does. Like if it were food, for me, the weird one is like spicy and sweet go together so fucking well, but you don't think about that. That's not
Dessert-
something that
Right.
yeah.
Dessert hot sauces, man, they are a
Right.
thing.
Right, they really are, and like some really spicy ones, and you know, so you just don't think it's certain combinations. But boy, when somebody finds that, and Raimi did, like, good God, is it delicious?
Oh, it is. So Eric, what do you think of the quality of Campbell and?
Okay, this is definitely like the best looking Bruce ever. He's got the charisma and that sass, the sarcasm, the planning, the moves. Like this is awesome Campbell right
Oh,
here.
for
This is
sure.
some
The
real
script,
quality
the
Campbell.
script allows him to be the hero.
It
Yeah.
does. It allows him to be
That's
the hero.
anytime you put
This is-
Raimi on it, that Raimi
Yeah.
knows not only the character of Ash so well, he knows Bruce so well. Like
Yes.
and
Yes.
they're able to give just like Bruce anytime like all you can say like their group. Because
Yes,
even
it is their group. They're
Army,
a good team.
I mean not Army, but Alien Apocalypse, not a great movie, but you know the guy that wrote it was one of the
One of
Evil
the
Dead
original-
guys.
Yeah.
So he
yep.
knew like, oh, here's what I'm gonna do with the group, with Bruce.
Yes.
So you know you can't go wrong when you got Raimi Campbell. You can't go wrong.
Yes, because like they do. They make such a good team. They came together in their formative years, right? Like of
Oh, they're teenagers.
yeah, and just they bounce off each other so well. I'm sticking to my theory. Like in the meta, Evil Dead, the evil demons. That's a representation of Sam Raimi torturing his friend Bruce Campbell just as much as he can, because like the evil is super imaginative in what they do. It's like it can do all sorts of stuff, and it's just like, I'll make tiny versions of him and feed it to him, and then grow another one.
Yeah, it
like
can
it's
do
all
it-
crazy.
It can
like,
do anything from possessing people to alter reality.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So
And so like even Ash being possessed by the evil at the many times that we do see, like it's like, you know, Raimi pulling the puppet strings, like, yeah, this is what I'm doing
Pulling
to
the
you.
strings.
Yeah, you're mine, Bruce. Bruce is like, I will do anything to fight this.
Mike, what do you think about Bruce?
This
and Army
is
Darkness?
this is the most premium Bruce. This is probably my introduction to Bruce Campbell, to be real
Yeah.
honest.
Good introduction.
Premium's a
I
good
mean,
word
it
for
is-
it.
yeah,
It
it's a good
is. It's
introduction.
his prime.
It is
Yeah.
his prime. And I'm just sitting over here reading. I'm sorry. I'm just over here reading all these like behind the scene facts and stuff, and it's getting to me. It's just there's a funny one. A piece of Campbell's costume ended up scratching his face during a vigorous
Oh, yeah.
fight scene. And he was rushed to the hospital in full costume.
Oh, for
yeah,
crying out loud.
that's the hook on the chin. I think.
I didn't mention.
I think it's the
no, the one on the chin, I think he got from childhood because I've been asking about that scar since we started.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
there's one of the scars on his. It maybe it's maybe on his cheek, but,
but the
there's-
doctor was like terribly confused as to like which stitch he was supposed to stitch up. Like, which
one
scar,
is the-
because
yeah,
there's so
'cause his
much
face is all
special
cut up.
effects cuts, and he's like, I don't know which one to do.
Yeah.
Like,
I would love to do an episode
I-
that just does
I-
a deep dive on the franchise itself.
that's
like
what
the
I
behind the scenes
want. I
stuff.
want to do that for November. I want that to be our
Lis-
first.
li-
cult.
listen, I gotta say though, if I were Bruce and my doctor was like, which one do I stitch up? Like we're fucking someone else. We didn't spend that kind of money on these. Doc.
Could be a real good makeup artist, you know?
And I'll just mention,
wasn't that good.
I'll mention one more little behind the scenes little thing to make you all hate the studio more.
Uh-oh.
During post production, it was determined that the further reshoots were needed.
Uh-huh.
Universal refused to cough up any more cash until De Laurentiis. Is that how you say his?
Dino De Laurentiis.
I don't know how to say his name.
Either way.
They had to release the character rights for Hannibal Lecter in order to the studio to move forward with a sequel to Silence of the Lambs.
What the fuck?
So they wouldn't give more cash for this film until he gave up the rights.
Wow, what a weird connection.
Ooh, I would have told if I were him.
But they wanted reshoots. They
how,
demanded reshoots.
How do you demand reshoots without providing funding?
Because they're little shits. They would have just tied it up in post.
Right, yeah.
Well, I don't know if the studio
Imagine
even
that
determined
happening.
there was reshoots needed. I think it was just
was-
in post production. They realized we need some reshoots.
Okay.
But Universal's like, well, we're not going to give you more money.
Unless you
I'd-
give us rights.
You know what
to-
I would have said? Fine, there are no reshoots. If you want me to give up the rights to Hannibal Lecter, you can eat my asshole.
Yeah.
Like, that's not happening.
Wow.
Like, I like Evil Dead and I like Bruce Campbell, but like Hannibal Lecter, they ain't.
There you go. I just wanted you to hate the studio more.
And it was
Ben,
Universal, right?
what do you
Universal
think?
Universal,
Studios.
yeah.
Yep.
What do you think of the quality
Screw
of
you,
Campbell?
Universal.
Oh, I mean, this is
You don't get more Brucey, do you?
No.
you really don't. So this is definitely Bruce at the height of his
Yes.
ashiness.
Yeah.
Yes.
This kind of character stamps him a little bit accidentally, though, don't it? Just like
Well,
it makes him hard to do other roles.
I mean,
He kind of plays himself.
typecasting is what it is. You can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it as an obstacle to overcome, or you can look at it as job security.
Yeah.
So
But-
Eric, I'm not gonna let you hold us in any suspense. I want to know what your rating is.
Ooh.
'Cause
Okay.
You like to hold it on, like hold suspense.
I
don't
like
wanna-
to hear what everyone else says.
I want to put you on the spot.
Me? Okay, me on the spot. Easy this time. Abso-fucking-lutely groovy, baby. Like this was good. This was prime Bruce. Bruce in his prime.
Yes.
Bruce in his prime. I think this movie kind of
100%.
finally cemented what that character of Ash is, and
Yeah.
therefore kind of Bruce.
He was
I
already kind
think
of getting
I
there.
I think
but-
Evil Dead
Yeah.
2, Army of Darkness, these two are the only ones you need. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Because Evil Dead 2, it's like, I think that's when he became, this person, this characterization and stuff like that. But I think Army of Dead, it sounds like it really solidified that. It got that out there. I think this had broader appeal than any prior Evil Dead movie, probably. Or reach, I should say, not appeal.
For
but
sure.
reach.
Oh, I would say
Yeah.
appeal. I think appeal's right.
And yeah, because it's got more of that adventure vibe and stuff. So it got the Bruce to the masses. Whereas, like, he had his, so absolutely groovy. There we go.
I'm going to say groovy.
Yep.
I mean, I don't need to really talk too much about it. It's groovy. It's the best Bruce.
You're
we can
finally
have.
giving.
Yeah.
What was it? You've been giving a lot of Evil Deads, like mostly not groovy.
Yeah.
No, just the one.
Just the
Well, also within the woods
within
too.
the
You
wood.
gave
Yeah,
it not groovy.
yeah.
Oh,
That doesn't
Which
count.
It counts.
It does not.
But I've given Evil Dead 2. I give Army of Darkness and Ash vs Evil Dead. I give them all groovies when I've given them
Yeah.
all three. But I like this version of Ash. I just don't feel like Evil Dead and Within the Woods are the version.
Yeah.
Well, in Evil Dead he's Bruce. He's not Ash.
Right.
So Within the Woods he's Bruce. That's not even Ash. But
It was just funny in that episode. Even you're like, people's going to think I hate Evil Dead. Give me some not groovy.
Yeah.
but
It's like,
Evil,
no, I actually like
Evil
these.
Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, those are like grade A films. Those are like just masterpieces in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Army of Darkness is just prime grade A 100% Bruce. It's
Yeah.
groovy to the max.
Groovy to the max.
Now, which is obviously groovy over here, but
Obviously, yes.
which role do you think is more groovy, Bubba Hotep or Army of Darkness?
I'm gonna say Army of Darkness.
I
I, mean,
agree.
I love Bubba Hotep, but I mean, it's Bubba Hotep is always gonna be a strong second for me when it comes to like the
Yeah.
roles of Bruce. It'll always be a strong second, like not even disparagingly. So it's just like it's a strong. There's more Ash for me to sink my teeth into than there's Bubba Hotep, unfortunately.
Right.
Which I do have. I ordered the Army of Darkness Bubba Hotep crossover graphic novel, so we have that on the way.
Ooh,
Oh, that'll be interesting.
We will
exciting.
pass that around and try to figure up an episode on that one. So,
Yeah.
but Ben, what about you?
Yeah.
It's groovy for sure, but
There we have it.
it's everything. It's everything that you expect. Like I said, all of the quotes from Ash come from this movie, and that's for a reason.
Yeah.
However, to the point of Army of Darkness versus Bubba Hotep, I'll actually say that I actually enjoy Bubba Hotep more because I think Bruce himself does better acting.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Bubba
Yeah.
Hotep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bubba Hotep really pushed him as an actor and showed that he was capable of
Yeah.
doing more than just Ash. Ash, I'm sure, and I'm not trying to like say that it's easy because there's virtually no role that's easy, but
Right.
for him, I'm sure putting on Ash, even by this point, was just like putting on a jacket that you have.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just Bruce, and you crank the
Seems to
volume
be,
up a little bit.
yeah,
Right,
it seems to be his sense of humor that he gets to kind of put into this character.
Exactly.
Whereas Bubba Hotep really did. Like, there was still some of that too, but there was definitely there was some very exceptional stuff to his acting.
Right.
in Bubba
Exactly.
Hotep,
So
yeah.
Army of Darkness is groovy. It is the quintessential Bruce Campbell, quintessential Ash.
So we got a certified groovy. Our second, I think, My Name is Bruce got certified groovy. So this is our second certified groovy of Cultober.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh, and there's only one more left. It's that our Halloween special next week, Charmed. So we'll see how that one does.
I forget how.
Does anybody want to take bets on that?
I think I know.
don't-
I remember what I gave it.
Don't give us spoil. Don't spoil it. We
I
got
know.
next week. Next
Go
week,
listen
the
to
Campbellites
Charmed.
can listen to
Man,
the
we're
Halloween special, Charmed.
We're following up Army of Darkness with Charmed.
Yeah.
Who did this game?
Yeah, it is a weird trajectory. We go
Yeah.
Moontrap, which is pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
My Name is Bruce, pretty good.
Yep.
Army of Darkness, really good. And then I guess you have to wait and see what happens with Charmed.
Yep.
It sucks.
I wasn't part of Charmed.
I was part of Charmed.
I was too.
So
There was a good portion of me just explaining Charm to the guys.
Which
Yeah, there
is
was, there
the
was.
fact that you can.
Yeah, that was
Mike
pretty
likes Charmed.
impressive.
Mike
I
likes
like Charmed.
Yep.
I have no reason to like it, but I like Charmed.
You love Charmed.
I'll
But
watch
yeah,
it right now.
You'll definitely have to watch.
It's okay.
tune
Some people
in.
like heroin, Michael. It's fine.
Tune in here, Call to Campbell next week for our Halloween special for Call to Campbell, and that will be part of our Halloween week special. I guess our Halloween special week.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we also
Yep.
have the Halloween special for Cult Talk Weird Shit. We have our Cult Talk review of 13 Ghosts, I believe,
Uh-huh.
and then that leads up to our Halloween Day release of Trick or Treat.
Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat.
Michael
God, I
Dougherty's Trick or
love that
Treat.
fucking
So
movie.
we hear our
Yes.
thoughts on that, and that will conclude Cultober. Thank you guys for listening to Cultober. This has been a fun month. We got to do our Cult Talk reviews over a plethora of different things.
Yes.
This Friday, I believe we have
Why?
the Faculty coming up.
Question mark. Sure.
The Faculty, I think,
Sure.
is coming up here.
Sure.
The Faculty is coming up, or it's already come out. Either way, you're welcome.
We can't keep track of our release schedule. We release them right.
We
but
just- we did
while we're
so
recording,
much
we
for
have
this
no
month.
idea.
Say not for October. We
No,
can't.
we
It's
did.
just- we're
We
just
did a
shitting
lot
content
for-
right
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
we
it's
did a
either
lot
going to be
for
the
this
stuff
month.
or the Faculty. It's only two I can't count for. It's going to be the stuff or the Faculty.
Right.
We
They'll figure it out.
love
Just
it.
go look at our feed.
Yeah, go check the
Yeah.
YouTube. YouTube.com
There we go.
/CultTalkNet.
Yep.
And also Instagram at CultTalkNet.
Or go to our link tree. It'll lead you
Yeah,
right to
link
it.
tree. You'll have to find it all.
Also, at this time, will the commercial for our Cult of Lore be out by now?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Let's
Either way,
see.
we have a new
Maybe.
show coming out.
We're in the week
Yes.
of Army of Darkness. You got the stuff coming out this week.
Oh, the stuff. Yeah.
Stuff.
Larry Cohen. And if you want to talk about Campbell connections, Bill Lustig, an Army of Darkness.
Faculty was last
stuff,
week.
Bruce, there's all kinds of shit.
Yep.
Yes.
So you've already heard Faculty.
Yeah, you already heard
Yep.
Faculty.
Already came out.
All right,
welcome.
guys. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us here. And this is a pretty good episode. We went off a lot of tangents. We had a good time watching the movie. We had a good
Yeah,
time recording.
I was gonna say this is just one of those movies you have fun with and it
Yeah.
invites conversation.
And I hope
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys enjoyed it, and hope you enjoyed Cultober, all the content we're bringing you guys, and the content will keep rolling right through November,
Yeah.
December, and the cult will keep growing and growing as we add more shows and we
Eventually
explore
we will
different routes of
Take over the world. Pinky.
take over the world.
Join
yes.
the talk.
Yeah, Cult Talk Net # join the talk. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's enough for us. Don't forget, happy Cultober.
Woo!
And
Happy
as always,
October.
happy Halloween. And
Yes.
as always,
Stay groovy.
Hail to the king, baby.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.